All right, I am live. Welcome to Big Guilty Cigar Podcast. Today's guest is Vintage Cigars, and I'm running 5 minutes behind, which is fine. Uh, Kayla is setting up right now. This should be a fire interview. But while we wait for him, where I can start off is showing you this little gift bag from my last guest, Cigar Hound Dog. My boy Matt hit me off with some amazing cigars. I'm truly grateful for him, and I just want to say thank you, Matt, for the shit. For the just want to say thank you for hitting me off with all these amazing, also rare cigars. This is really this like a lot of this stuff is kind of crazy. Like I can't even believe it. So, without further ado, my brother is here, and we about to do the damn thing. We got a lot to catch up on, man, because we like me and him like a lot of the same stuff as far as music. Like I feel like me and Kelly could just do a podcast on music by itself. So, without further ado, my boy Kalen, aka EKB.
In
Can't
the
what
building, the place to be. Ohio goes like mine.
up,
Style.
man?
What up, man?
I'm chilling, man. How's everything out in Japan?
It's rainy right now, man. That's why I'm
Oh,
held up in this corner at the moment. So like, you got the dope
all
studio
right.
right now. You got the backdrop. You got the mic. And I'm like, yo, I'm outside
Nah,
centimeters from
you
the
good to
rain.
go, man. You know it ain't nothing.
There's nothing
You know it
to
ain't
it, man.
nothing.
How you doing, man? No
I'm
style.
good,
What's
man.
good?
Look, know what? I can't lie to you. I'm a little
What
down.
up?
My Dallas Cowboys
Uh-oh.
lost, so I lost $1,000 to Sanj. I paid him today, and now and
I
now I'm
see.
here, and now I'm here
I,
like just counting my my pennies right now.
bro, I can't. And look, anybody that's watching this, if you're watching or whatever, please support my man. Help him get those chips back because of the Dallas Cowboys. Why he put $1,000 on the Dallas Cowboys, I will never understand this.
Yo,
Dude, it's been 30 years to this, man. You should know what the pattern is by now.
let's you know what, man. You know what? You're over here to saying, um, the case the case of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I learned that
Yeah,
the hard way with
yeah,
the Cowboys. I learned that the super hard way with those sorry,
man.
you know.
Dedicated fans, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta be honest with you, man. That was the biggest roast I ever seen since that Jamie Foxx episode. My man was like, "I don't know, caution." Yo, I was crying. I was in tears that whole time, bro. I'm sorry, man. But that was
yo,
some good content, man.
Sanj drove in 2 hours to come and do that. I didn't even know he was coming. Like he drove 2 hours to do that, like to torture me. He took 2 hours out of his day to come down there and torture me.
Bro, that 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 was entertainment. If anybody missed that, man, you got to go find that live, dude. I was in tears, man, and you took it like a champ, man.
Listen,
I know
man.
you cried in the car. I know you cried in the car, but you took
You
it
know
like
what?
a champ for that moment.
I tell you this. Like watching that game and Patty's right there watching it also, and Patty goes, this is why I can't root for him. This is why this is why I don't get invested. And I have know what I learned the hard. It's a good thing because like they brought back Mike McCarthy. That's like
Okay, I see
if
it.
they if they want to pull me in, they're to hire a new coach. It's to the point now where I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. It's over. It's to the
Let it
point
go,
where I
man.
would never, ever, 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 ever,
Ever, ever?
ever, until they get past. If they get to the NFC East champion, the NFC Championship game, then maybe I'll come back. Until then, nah, I'm good.
Gotta let
I'm
it
good.
go. Gotta let it go, man. Yeah, just I'm finally glad to see so many Cowboy fans at this point just kind of like relinquishing that and just accepting that.
Well, you know what?
John,
It's frustration, man. It's
it has
frustration.
to be. It has to be. It absolutely because even John, Cigar Alchemist, he's a Cowboy fan too. But every time I would talk to him about it, he was like, "I know what's gonna happen, man. I'm not even getting my hopes up," and I understand that. And sometimes you just gotta let it get. Hey, it's been 30 years. What
Yeah.
it take the Cubs in baseball? It was like 106 years or
Uh-huh.
something like that. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just gotta just let a century go by, man, and just accept what your team is. You know what I mean?
A bunch of bums. A bunch of fucking bums. That's what they are. A bunch of bums, man.
Hold up, gotta ask.
Uh-huh.
Your basketball team's the Knicks, though, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well, y'all niggas
Everything
good
everything
in
else is New York.
Jacksonville.
Everything else is New York
Okay.
except for
So I know we Facebook, friends and whatnot now, man. So I don't know if you saw that, man. I was trying to do a little poll to see. I was really just talking shit. How many like Cowboy fans, Lakers fans, and there's so many of them. I'm like,
I mean, you know
what is
what?
this, man?
Here's a funny thing, man. I can't stand the Lakers. I hate the Lakers.
My man, my man.
Hate them.
That's all I need to hear
I hate
with
the
a
Lakers
passion.
so with a passion. With a passion. My cousin is a Laker fan, and he's the one that made me hate them even more than I did before. Like, and here's the sad thing. So Kobe passed on my birthday.
Oh
And
wow.
even as much as I hated him as a player, it hurt when he passed.
Yeah, same here, same here.
You, you
And
know what?
I couldn't stand him as a player, so I feel you on that one. But when he retired, it was different. So my bad. But continue.
No, I was gonna say, man, it's interesting how certain people impact you.
Right,
And
right.
it wasn't just like everybody was hurt, and that's how you know that you created a legacy or it's just an impact in people's life when you
Fact.
pass and people are just devastated. I was done. Like I was upset because I knew my cousin was done. So I know he was hurting. So I had to go and give him a call, see how he's doing, and all that good stuff because he was the biggest Kobe fan. He thought Kobe was better than Mike. But that's every Laker fan.
It's a few of those cats out there. Yeah, I know. There's a few of them out there.
So
But you know what's wild about that one? Your birthday got to be coming up soon, then, right? Or
yeah,
yeah,
25th.
yeah, it got to be. All right, word up,
25th, man.
that man. Yeah, yeah. Happy early birthday to you on that, man.
Yeah,
And what's
man.
heavy about that, man? It's like during that time, damn, he was a young boy when that joint happened too. Like it was like right before the pandemic, so everything was
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah,
weird anyway.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I was on the West Coast, so I woke up early in the
Mm-hmm.
morning, like, yo, what just happened? It was
Mm-hmm.
such a sudden thing, you feel? So that was like not to take your podcast down, man, but it was one of those things that it was just like you could feel it hit everybody. You could feel the
Everybody.
reverberation go through, it, especially like for people who were like I got homies that's like they might not see him better than Mike, some of them might, but that was their guy, especially
That
if
was
they
their
was like
guy.
in your age brackets. Y'all didn't get to see Mike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like y'all didn't get to see what Mike. Y'all got to saw the only person that could actually play like Mike without the defense, but he could play like Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So man, yeah, that one's heavy, bro.
If you ask Laker fans, he was the best defender of all time.
That's the delusion of like Lakers fans and Cowboy fans, though.
Yeah.
Like y'all fans on the whole, it's like some deluded
Oh
fans
my God.
because
So yo, so so so
Kobe was decent, he was smart, but he couldn't
yeah.
play D like Mike, man. Come on, man.
So your squad was Golden State, right?
Yeah, bro, we going through it this year. We going through it this
Age,
year, man.
age. But you know what? Here's a problem too.
Nah,
You guys didn't draft a big man who could just sit there and grab boards. That's it. That's all you need him for. You need a man who can sit there and just grab boards. You need somebody
no,
who
no,
who
because we got that. We got that. For whatever reason, he can only play 20 minutes at a time, though, which is Kevon Looney. But the problem with Kevon Looney is when he grabbed the ball, especially if you get an offensive bound, he can't shoot under the basket to save
yeah,
his life, bro. And it's the
which is
like,
pathetic.
how are you that big and you can't shoot under the basket?
You know what the crazy thing is? It's a lot of dudes. You be like, hold up, like you 6'11", and you can't make a layup. Like
You,
you got no post moves, no nothing.
he can't just turn around. Like, I don't like Rudy Gobert. Like, I'm not a fan of Rudy, like, on and off the court. But I was watching the T Wolves the other day while I was at the gym, And just to see him like when the ball is coming off the rim, he going up and
Yeah,
he dunking on people's heads. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Or he taking it down, he got a little shake and he'll go up and he'll put it back. Kevon Looney can't do that. And we
At
got this
all.
young kid, what's his name? Trace Jackson Davis. He young. He too young to really be like he give him a year or two, he gonna be that kind of rim runner,
Well, you know
shot
what?
blocker.
He has to get that NBA body.
Exactly. And he got to get that NBA mindset. He's good, but he's super young.
So during those championships, what were your victory
Mm-hmm.
cigars during those championships, though?
Oh, man, that's a damn good question, bro. That's a damn good question. Because I don't know if I ever took it to celebrate like that. Because one thing is kind of wild. Because most of the times, like when those games are happening, I was in the crib either with the fam or with my
Yeah,
wife's fam, and we just we running around like wilding out. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really a
yeah.
time where I had downtime just to like, okay, yo, I wanted that way. And you know what? I don't think I ever celebrated a game like that. That was
Wow.
a great question, man. And you know what? I love the Warriors, man. I love Steph, and I even like Draymond, man. I know a lot of people don't like Draymond. I love
I like
Draymond, man.
Draymond, man. It's just, the way he was taught to play the game was you have to be tougher than everyone. You have to be stronger, tougher, meaner than everybody. That's how he was taught.
And I get that, and it works. But
Hmm.
something was really happening to the point where he lost all control, and it was really
You know
like,
what? I don't.
what up?
It's He don't back down from nothing. That's the problem. He don't back down from nobody.
Yeah, but that wasn't the problem here, and I like that part about Dre because honestly, a lot of people didn't want smoke with Dre. And if you notice, a lot of people, because everybody usually like, NBA players can puff up their chest.
Yep.
Everybody do that. Not a lot of people did that with Dre. But the time when he was it Nurkic that he hit in the face, I think it was I think it was Nurk when he
Yep.
just turned around and just swung
Yep.
on him.
Swung
That
on him.
was really unprovoked. When you watch the footage on that, he was like, "Yeah, Nurk was pulling on my jersey." No, he wasn't. No, he
Hmm.
wasn't. He was just in his feelings at that moment. And for
Yeah.
whatever reason, that's the part that really bothered me about Dre.
But the thing
Because
with Dre too is
what
he's
up?
older. He's a lot older,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you know and you can't move like you used to. You may be stronger than these young kids, but like he can't shoot no more. Like he should be the guy that just sit there and grab rebounds.
He was shooting better this year. He was shooting
Mm.
better this year. And I think what frustrates him, man, is not to derail your pod is just a solely sports pod. I don't want to do that. But
Nah, man,
the
this
thing
we chopping it up,
the
man.
thing about him, the thing about him, man, is that he's doing so much on the floor as far as like he's directing the young players. He's literally everywhere on defense, and that's why I love Dre. Like he's
Yep, he's
everywhere on
directing the
defense,
defense, calling out calling
and
out picks, calling out screens.
all of that, making rotations,
Yeah,
taking up for people, helping on help defense, and he's a playmaker most of the time too. He's watching everywhere that Steph is going to
yeah,
be, watching everywhere Kaminga's going to be, watching everywhere Clay is going to be. That's a lot to do on the court. So
yeah,
everybody
a
like
lot.
clowning for him being a triple single now, but now this year he was actually shooting again. He was actually rim running again. But I think all of that, and plus whatever was going on off the field, kind of took him to the point where he just got frustrated and tired.
Exactly.
You in your 30s, man. Like I went out to hoop with the young boys the other day, man.
Yeah.
Your your brain still can see the game. You can
Yeah.
see the game. You can see it move.
Just can't get there.
Man, this kid was cooking me. Man, he hit me with a hezzy that was so nice, man. You remember when I don't know, like if you watch like 90s basketball. You remember White Chocolate?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
I don't know if you know
Disgusting.
the play where he came down and he was playing against the Sonics and he hit Gary Payton with this in and out hezzy and just
Mm.
left Gary Payton just standing there like
Yeah,
the
like he didn't
fuck.
know what to do. He didn't know
That's how
what
that
to do.
dude hit me. He hit me with that hezzy, almost the
Mm.
same hezzy. Dude, 20 years younger than me, man. And I was just like, all right, it's I gotta hang up the sneakers, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Nah,
just
not
gonna
even
sit out
that.
here and shoot jumpers.
You just got to start grabbing. That's it. You gotta start grabbing. Listen. It's street boy. You got all the fouls in the world. You gotta start grabbing, man.
Man, my integrity won't let me do that, man. I've never been that player, man. So I just
Listen, I suck at ball. I'm there for defense and the foul. That's it.
yo, you Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm Big Perk. Can't do nothing but foul and foul, grab rebound, play a little bit of defense. That's it.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Let me
Yeah,
see.
man.
Somebody said, speaking of the GOAT, Jordan, which cigar is your GOAT to date? EKB, I know yours. Padron. I like to see, I love that, man. That's love right there. When people, they know the inside jokes and everything, man. That's love right there, man.
You know what, man? But that's the thing, man. Like the more like you get a personal connection with your with people that watch the show because they know you and they catch on
Yeah,
to all the inside jokes and they able to make jokes in the comments and all that good stuff, man.
man, that's love, man. It's
Yeah,
real love. You know, that's
yeah,
like honestly when I'm doing the show, man, and when people actually comment on the show and they drop comments like that,
yeah,
when like they catch the little inside music drops or they catch
yeah,
like, hey man, you know, and they checking in, people check in like, hey man, I know you moving, how the family doing, you know, like the
yeah,
house. And that shit is love, man. That's what makes it all worth it, B. It makes it a
yeah.
whole different
It's the
game.
community.
Yeah, man. So what
Yeah.
to answer that question though, what's your goat? I know
For
it's a hard
me,
one. I know it's a hard one.
that's
Yeah,
a
man.
hard one. That is really, really hard. Oh man, honestly, for me, it would have to be that crown head um la pastry
Not
la
Patisserie.
pastilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's my baby, man. I love that cigar. Love that
I
cigar.
love that cigar. I actually like the La Crema a little bit more.
I'm yeah,
But
I'm actually smoking a lot of rim right now.
my man,
You know what? You know what it
my
is,
man.
man? I had a hard day today. It was hard to give Sanj that fucking money.
That's tough, boy.
It was
That's
hard to
tough.
give Sanj that money. And
That's
I
tough.
gave him I gave it to him. I was like, you know what? Let me go home because my son is flying in today. So because so I got so mixed up
Congratulations.
because I said 8 o'clock your time. I'm thinking that we're 12 hours apart. So I'm like, ah, yo, I know he's up early. I know he's up early, so we could do 8 p.m. my time, 8 a.m. his time, not knowing that it's 14 hours difference. So I was like, oh
But
shit,
see, the only reason why that happens because here we don't do the daylight savings.
save his time, yeah,
So that yeah, so that throws people off. But I'm also a day ahead of y'all.
head,
So it's Saturday
yes,
for me. So
yeah,
I apologize to anybody that's commenting and there's anybody that's on the channel right now. If I look puffy, if I look tired, leaning up against, I literally just rolled out of bed 30 minutes ago, bro. I brushed my teeth,
yo, I'm sorry,
grabbed
man.
a
I'm
cigar.
sorry. I
No,
done woke
no,
you
man.
up out of you.
Dude, if it was anybody else, I might have been like, "Yo, man, listen, can we postpone?" Da, da, da. Man, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
hyped to do this show. I was
Yo,
honestly
man,
hyped
listen.
to
You know
sit down
what,
and
man?
actually chop it up with you, man.
You know what? I feel like certain people got connection, man, and we got connection.
Word.
Some people before the show, I'm like before you came up, I was like, like I knew it was gonna be a good show because we text through Instagram all the time. We drop music to each other. Like we just chop it up like brothers. So
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good thing, man.
and it's crazy because like I like when we first met, we was just like, yo, like man, like you from the South, and my stepdad's from the South, so I know all that Southern cooking, all that
Right, yeah, I mean,
hog's head cheese, the chitlins, you know, all that stuff, man. Yeah,
nah, that right there, man, it's kind of crazy. One, I actually thought she was older, man. I didn't know you was hitting the quarter century this year, man. So
yeah,
congrats on
man.
that, man. That's major, bro.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
turned
kind of good,
39,
man.
man.
You 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 in a good spot, man. And I love the fact that you in a good spot, man. That you surrounded around people And that's the part.
Yeah,
I think that's the part that I connected with the most. Just to see the way you and everybody in the shop was vibing, and so the way you was vibing with
yeah,
Carlos,
man.
man, the way you vibing with you, like the same way I try to vibe with, everybody that's watching the channel and viewing and everything. You
Yeah,
do the same thing. That's when I was like, okay, I can rock with this cat. You know what I mean? That's the integrity part that makes
yeah, yeah.
me
Listen,
just like,
man.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna hop out of bed at 7:30 and chop it up with this man on a Saturday morning.
Because you know
You
what?
feel
It's
me?
like I try to treat everybody. I try to treat everybody with love, man. That's it, man. Because when it don't happen all the time, but like when you give people love, you get love back. So that's one big thing. That's one big thing with me is I always try to treat people the way I treat people the way I want to be treated. So no matter who you are, like on Wednesday, Robert Crowell came into the shop. Yeah, so he came
Word.
into the shop and he was chilling, man. He was there for like an hour and a half, just chilling.
What y'all
Wait,
smoke, man?
so he smoked. I forgot what he was smoking something unbanded, and
Okay,
uh,
gotcha.
and my boy and his rep is Miguel, who's rep for our shop. Miguel, cool as shit.
Okay, bet, bet.
Yeah, yeah, Miguel's he's cool as shit. So so we in there, we chopping it up. And the one thing that I learned is the one thing that a brand owner doesn't want to talk about is fucking cigars. They want to talk about everything but cigars. And
And that
that's
makes
why I
sense.
think my podcast is a little different. Because when you sit there and you're talking about cigars 24/7, what happens is that they go to their script
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they don't open up. So the less you talk about cigars, the more you're able to get them. You find out like what they really been up to, what they really into. Like what you do outside of cigars.
He's an interesting cat, man.
Yeah,
What type
yo,
of shit does
yo.
Caldwell talk about when he's just sitting in the shop?
Honestly, man, I from what I found out, man, I always do my research on people. I know he's a big history buff. He loves history and he
Ah,
loves
I
and
see
he
it.
loves traveling and
Yeah,
he loves any and he's a foodie. He's a big time foodie, man. You know.
I could probably sit down and have a good convo with that cat.
Yo, you listen. You'll love Rob, man.
You
Rob is
know,
cool.
what's weird? You know what's weird about it? And this is kind of like the crucial part about just how I do the vintage cigar in itself, and just how I live life in general, man. It's kind of a scary thing. Like having that honesty part of just your dialogue and just the way you approach things. I haven't
Hmm.
been kind to Caldwell, not him as a person, because like I haven't had the fortune of being able to sit down and
Yeah,
chop it up with him like you have. But
yeah.
as far as his cigars, I'm not a fan of his cigars, and I openly say that. You can see right there. Carpenter already talking about EKB's favorite. You see, like they know me. You know what I'm saying? And
but
and they, I gotta
but
imagine that.
Mike but Mike be rocking with Caldwell cigars, man. Mike like he likes the Caldwell cigars, man.
Yeah, yeah, but see, and I want people to not just get on my opinion based on that, but I
Uh
gotta
huh.
be honest when it comes to like if I'm doing a live or if I'm doing a recorded show, I gotta go hard and just be like, okay, this is really how I feel about everything. So I
Exactly.
wonder like if I ever get back to the States or if there's some function out here in Japan and I go to PCA or if I go to TPE or whatever, I'm gonna bump into a Michael Herclox. I'm gonna bump into Rodriguez. I'm gonna bump into Cardwell, and you never know who's watching the show. I didn't know Saka was
Yeah.
watching my show. I didn't know John Huber was watching my show. I didn't
Yeah.
know Boofy was watching the show. Like
Yeah.
so, you never know. And so if I'm like, yo, man, I don't really rock with Blackbird like that. I don't really rock with Lost and Found. You know what I mean?
Nah, yo,
I'm
let me
saying
tell
that
you.
honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
That's
drawback.
true. Yeah. Like John is cool people, man. John's my boy. I'm actually getting a custom made ashtray for John. Me and Rob are putting something together for him. So we gonna make him a custom crown head ashtray.
You got to send me pictures of that once that
Yeah,
shit's
yeah,
done,
man.
man.
My
I got to
boy,
see that before
my
y'all
boy who be
package it
who
up
be
and
there,
load it.
Latino Woodworks. He's gonna put it together, man. So right now I'm talking to him. It's And we like I'm trying to make like a longboard, a
Okay,
longboard
nice.
ashtray.
So where are you making that? Like, is that something like you got like a shop or something, or you
You
guys
know,
sending it out to somebody and like, hey, this
yeah,
is my
yeah,
details. This
yeah.
is what I want.
So the guy. If you watch the lives, you see the guy that Sancho always fucking with, Latino
Mm,
Woodworks.
hmm.
That's yeah, man. That's my guy right there, man. He's good. He's amazing. Armand is that's my guy, man. I went to his house. I went to his house to do a podcast with him, and we
Okay,
sitting
bet.
there, and I'm like, yo, I never tried Blancy's before. He had a bottle of Blancy's. He let me try that. Then he let me try this Havana Club straight from Cuba, 7 year aged. Fire, you know.
You had some fried chicken with that joint, man.
Yeah, know what? Listen, no, man. I had me some. So I had me some motherfucking
Excuse me.
Lomo Sandal. That's what I had with that right there.
Ooh.
Yeah, you already know. You already know. You already know, man. Like Peruvian food is one of my favorite cuisines, man. Love Peruvian
Man,
food.
man, you give me the egg on that joint. Let me get my egg
Yo,
sunny side up. Man,
yo, that
listen,
that
I'm gonna have
man.
you.
But
You ever
see,
get
I
out to
like
Cali?
mine. I like mine with chicken though. The Loma
No, I
Sandal
feel
with
you.
chicken.
I feel you. But what I'm saying though is like even when they do that and they put the egg on top, man. I know
Yeah,
some people don't do chicken in the egg. I get that. So I
yeah.
know some people don't rock like that. But for me, man, that joint. You ever get out to Cali?
No, yo, I've been to Cali. I've been to Cali. I had an ex. She used to work for headquarters over at Virgin America. So she got stationed there for like a year and a half. So I would always go back and forth. Like every other weekend, I would end up flying out there. But I had the
No
buddy
doubt.
pass,
No doubt.
so I had the buddy
No, for
pass.
sure.
So I would always fly out there. But I would tell you this, man. San Fran is I can't do it, man. Can't do San
That used
Fran.
to be my favorite city in the world. Until I got to Tokyo, San Francisco was my favorite city. And like I
Nah,
love New
they're
York.
like, yo, anybody that asks me, I'm like, yo, I hate San Francisco. Can't
I
stand
hate
it.
it now, man. I don't like it's still a part of my heart, man. Because my wife from Stockton, Sacramento,
Okay,
Bay
yeah,
Area.
yeah, yeah,
That's her region. You know what I mean? So her fam is still like her brother's still out there. But
yeah.
yo, that city so it ain't what it used to be, man.
Know what? I would say
I,
this, man. It's too many fucking hills there. It's too many hills. It's not just regular hills. It's steep hills, man. It's steep. It's like hills like this. Like you just
oh
like,
nah. It's definitely that. It's
yo, you know
definitely
what's
that.
crazy? I seen these chicks pushing a dresser up the hill. I'm like, yo, that's a workout.
I walk around. What's weird to me is that that's part of what I loved about. That's part of what I loved about San Francisco. And I know a lot
Yeah.
of people when you walking around, but for me, man, like to see the houses on the slope and
Hmm.
everything is still level, the way they built it, like the architecture there was what really made me kind of fall in love with it. And I don't want to get too nerdy and all that kind of stuff, man, but that's the stuff that I fell in love with. Or you could just be going and you'll see the trolley coming across that joint,
Yeah.
and you got the sunset
The
in the
BART.
back. That
Yeah.
joint, it's
How you
like
hop on the
it's
BART. So
yeah,
you
it's a
so
beautiful thing. It used to
yeah,
be a
man. Cause
beautiful city, but you go there now, bro. Like man, to see that many people homeless out there, and you don't see none of us out there no more.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they all in East Bay, and East Bay
Wow.
is raw, right? Like it's
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, but I mean, it's the
Well,
city I used to
well,
love,
that's
man.
well, like well, I live in Newark, but I'm in New York City every day, so you can only imagine the stuff I gotta deal with out there, man.
For
New,
sure,
New
for
York,
sure.
New York City is a dump right now. New York City is a mess. But like
Honestly, I hated New York because my wife used to live there. So she lived in the barrio. She lived in what was it 118 and second, I think. So it's
oh
I
oh
don't know
so
if
oh,
you
so
know
so, oh,
Patsy's.
so she lives in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
like
yo,
right where
speak yes,
Patsy's was, like she
yeah,
had a spot like right above Patsy's, that famous pizza
not
joint. Like she
yeah.
was literally right above that. So we had it was such a nice area, man. But this is like man, 2005, something like that. So the city was
Okay,
different.
that's when Harlem was still Harlem.
It was still Harlem. It was still
You
like
know,
I used to love going outside, and it ain't like that no more.
yeah.
But I
Hey,
used to
John.
love it. But
First of all, don't you're not from Staten Island, John. You're from Bayonne. We don't want to hear that. You from Bayonne,
we in North
man.
Carolina though. Hold up, man.
Yeah,
We got to show John love, man. He's still an NC boy right there, man. So
yeah,
yo, I'm 252, man. I don't know where you are from in North Carolina, man, but I got it. I can't roast him, man. That's North
yeah.
Carolina love right there.
You know,
Hold up.
it's
Let me ask you the question first.
go for
Are
it.
you Tar Heel or you a Dookie? Which one is?
Oh, I'm a
You
Tar
got to
Heel
put that in
man.
the comments. Man.
I'm a Tar Heel guy.
All right.
So my college basketball team is St. John's and in North Carolina. But
My man.
so here's the crazy sidetrack. Crazy thing is they
Let's
started
do it.
off as number one and they're not even ranked.
Yeah, I know, man.
Like I don't get
Um,
I don't get it. I don't know if it's coaching,
it's the
you know.
coaching. It's
Yo,
the
and you
coaching.
know what? And yo, you're gonna laugh at this. You're gonna be laughing hysterical. Hubert Davis was my as a kid was one of my favorite players as a kid.
And I can say, Rocky Mount, say word. That's love right there, man. Shout out to him. I'm from Tarboro, B. So like he's probably the only person that's gonna know what Tarboro is.
Mm,
So that's literally like 15 minutes away. I spent so much time in Rocky Mount. I had to stay out of South Rocky Mount. I got stories about that. But
yeah.
matter of fact, I told a story the other day. I don't know if you saw it live, man. And somebody asked me like, had I ever been to jail before? And I
Yeah.
told a story about the one and only time I went to jail. I was in South Rocky Mount when I went to jail. So that
Mm,
anyway. But yeah, Hubert, man, I liked him as a player, but he wasn't one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't
hmm.
like I don't know if I could rock with a dude named Hubert like that. So that's just me.
Yo,
Yeah, very funny.
my dad he used to hike on me. How you like how you like that bum Hubert Davis? You know?
Shouts out to your pops for that one, man. He's trying to keep you straight.
Yeah, he was like, how you like that bum Hubert Davis? Oh, please, my dad still got beef with he still got beef with damn Charles Smith. He still got beef with Charles Smith, man. Yeah, man, he still got beef with
Yeah,
Charles
man.
Smith. You know, it's
Man, you
crazy,
gotta
man.
appreciate
Like,
that.
yeah, like so like one question I wanted to ask you was
Shoot,
because I asked
absolutely.
that question. So I want you to compare because you're former culinary.
Yeah,
So
I think I know where this about to go. Let's see.
I want you to go and compare cigars to food. So if you can go up and say this cigar would be considered this right here is kind of like this right here is a steak. You know, like
Mm,
you like
mm,
with like this right here would be like a ragu steak. If this was if that was a cigar, what cigar would that be? Something something heavy, but it melts in your mouth. No homo. Sorry.
nah. I feel you. If I'm going steak route, I think the easy answer that most people would say would be like Sokka's red meat lovers, but I don't think that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right answer. For me, honestly, if I'm thinking steak, I'm going with the American that
Mm.
Jason Neiman just dropped because you
Okay.
get you get that smokiness, you get that savoriness, and it kind of gives you that leather profile, and it's a really robust type thing. Like it give you that savory edge, and you feeling like
Hmm.
you eating something that's supple. It got some chew to it. It got some bite to it. That's where I would go with that. Um, if I wanted to go with something like delicate, matter of fact, when I was doing my all time, I was um, I was comparing the I was
Oh.
comparing that joint to a lava cake because
Okay.
like because
Mm.
the way it heats up and it gives you a little bit of heat. If you want to put some spice with it, you can, but like it just
Nice.
melts. And you know what I'm saying? It gives you that kind of texture. If I want to go with something that was like a cheesecake, I would say the kintsugi because
Mm.
it gives you that creamy body. It gives you these, this sweet, milky, profile in there. So I would go
Yeah.
that route. Um, if I wanted to go with something that's like a really good stir fry, like a vegetable dish, I would go with the Cuchillo Parado from uh,
Mm.
from Casa 1910 because you get these beautiful, vegetable notes in there. Uh, can I compare something to like a Japanese dish? Give me a second. I'm trying to go. Like I'm going through a
See that
Rolodex of cigars in my
now we
head
getting
right now.
into it. Now we getting into it.
I'm trying to think of something that I can compare to okonomiyaki, and because you kind of get like sweet, spicy. Ooh, dead on. The Namakubi from
Mm.
Room 101. Because
Okay.
it's so many flavors going on in that cigar that you almost don't know what to do with yourself. It's just like, yo, I'm getting like a sauce right now. I'm getting a spice, but
Mm.
it also has like a creamy texture to it too. So yeah, I would say Namakubi. That's probably one of the most unique cigars that I've ever had.
Wow.
Um, let's see, what else we got?
As you see, I'm going through the humidor right now looking for something.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a lot of
Dang,
something
dude,
else.
that's one. This is one of the illest questions I ever been asked, man. Uh,
Yo,
dang.
I gotta come with it, man. Actually, you know
All
what?
right, yeah. So let me see what I can do, man. Let's see what I can kind of throw out there, just kind of based on what you pull out.
So
Man, that was that.
for for like a crumble lay.
Mm. This is gonna be the easy answer. Oh, wasabi. Yeah, I haven't had the wasabi in a while. Somebody mentioned that one in the joint, but
Mm.
that would probably be the closest one I would get a
Yeah,
sushi on
John
there.
mentioned that.
Yeah, yeah. But for the creme brulee, I would either do the crema by Espinosa on that one too,
Okay.
or the easy answer is gonna be the Sober Mason brulee.
Mm.
Easy, easy.
Yeah. So so I'm pretty sure you see Cigar Side, Peter them they're now part of Shadow Smoke Legion.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no doubt.
we just passed off our 5th year anniversary. So I'm gonna go up and smoke and smoke the Legion cigar, on this
No
podcast
doubt,
right here.
man. Way to show love right there, man. And shouts out
Yeah,
to the
man.
Cigar Side Chat, man.
Yeah,
Shouts out to
man.
the homie Roger too. Shout out to Peter. Shout out
Yeah,
to Shogun Assassin. My
yeah,
man Eric. Shout out, man. Like those are all good peoples, man.
yeah. Shout out to
And
Tony, man.
yo, this is really what it is, man. It's like me and the new wave cat. So I want to give a shout out to the new infamous smoke show. We just rebranded, renamed, and the whole nine, man. So we can come out. We be the infamous. You heard of us, you
Yeah.
know, official live stream murderers. But we were talking, and it's kind of cool to see like everybody now, like everybody doing the unboxing joints,
Mm-hmm.
everybody like sending out bombs to each other,
Mm-hmm.
people making collectives and everybody's like getting together and really like showing love, man. And
Yeah.
like for me, like that's everything in this community. Like all of those guys hit me up at different times. I might not speak to them on a regular basis, but just for them when they were just watching the channel and they were just like, yo, hey man, I watch the show. I like what you're doing. It's creative or whatever the case may be. Or they just shoot me some memes.
Yeah.
Or when stuff was kind of crazy online, they were like, hey man, I understand exactly where you were coming from. That kind of solidarity, man, is everything. And that's what
Yeah.
this whole community is about, bro. And you giving love like that is warms my heart, man.
Yeah, you know, especially I watched the last episode of New Wave, man, and you guys, you know, the one thing is you can just tell it's not something forced, it's a genuine friendship. And you're able to come
Yeah,
on
man.
there, you guys are able to just chop it up.
3 hours,
Like
man, and we said that we never run out of stuff to talk about. You think about that, man.
that's the most important thing. Like you
We
always got
we
something to
do
talk
that.
about.
You know what's cool about that though? It's like we will hop off of that joint. It is late for them. It's middle of the
Mhm.
day for me. You know what I'm saying? It's usually like noon when I get off. Maybe at the latest, maybe like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we still go back like after the show. We still like, yo, what you think about this movie when we was talking about this? And like,
Mhm.
yo, it was funny when you said X Y Z. It's
Yeah,
genuine, bro. Like we not
that's the
capping
most
at all.
important thing. And that's the and that's the same thing that we do when we go on the lives on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know, we try like we sit there, we chop it up, we laugh. And I think that that's what people like is the fact that you come on there, you're able to laugh, you're able to learn something, and especially when it comes to my podcast, I try to make it to where people learn something new about the person that I'm talking to. So this way they go to other podcasts like, oh man, like this is the same thing from the last other four shows he was on. They come on here, I want it to be something totally different. Something that people never heard, never you're like, yo, damn, I never knew that about him.
You know what? I was telling people that I was going to start, the Vintage Podcast, and I'm glad you already in this space, and I'm glad you already making that because you know me, man. I'm honest about how I feel about
Yeah,
a lot of stuff, and I
yeah,
haven't really been enjoying a lot of people's podcasts, and especially when it
yeah.
comes to like cigar based, because even when
Mm-hmm.
they trying to be off the cuff or whatever, it a lot of them come off as forced, and then a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them come off as just it's more ads and and more branding than it
Yo,
is
anything
like
else?
really enjoying the interview and enjoying the person that you're talking to and enjoying
Yeah,
the cigars and enjoying the moment. And I really had to check out. So I was like, man, I want to create a space like that. So I'm glad you already here and you
yeah.
already doing it, man. You know,
Because at like if somebody has a cigar question, I might be able to answer, I might not. I can only give my opinion on it. But like this is a podcast, a cigar podcast based just around regular conversation. Like one of my biggest like the one of the podcasts that I love and I love the way you do things is Joe Rogan
yeah, for sure, for
because
sure.
it's just free flowing.
No matter what you think about Joe Rogan or some of his views or perspectives or whatever the case may be. I actually like the controversy for one. But the other side of it is that dude really knows how to talk to just about
Exactly,
anybody.
exactly, and you have to be
That
able to do
he can
that.
have Dave Chappelle on the show. He can have a cat that what was the UFO dude? I can't remember what his name right now. The dude with the glasses. He can
Mm,
have him on the show, and he can switch, and and he can have like David Chang on the show, and you know
yeah,
what I'm saying. Like to have that kind of diversity and be able to talk to everybody that well, man, that's a brilliant thing, man. You
it
got you
is,
got to take
man.
your hat off for that.
Well, you know what, and like I really wanted my podcast to be more barbershop.
Mm.
Like I want you to feel like you're in a barbershop or you're in a safe place. You at the lounge, you're just chilling because in the lounge you can have conversations about everything.
That's why I didn't mind getting up at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
I had to hop on with my man, yo,
yeah,
hold it
man.
down. So
Because you can talk about
much
anything, man.
appreciated that.
Yeah, man. And you my guy, man. So you already know, man. And I'm always trying to put you on. I'm like, yo, listen. I'm like, yo, I'm listening to a lot of soca music, man. Shout out to my boy Brian. It wasn't for Brian. Like I listen to soca, but I wasn't that deep. And then I met my boy
Right.
Brian, and then I just really just started going heavy soca. So now,
Soca, I gotta admit, man, Soca and Go Go, I gotta be live for that. Like
yeah.
that's live music to me. You know what I'm saying? Because when you out there, you can feel that rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
To me,
Mm-hmm.
that's what really get me when you really feel the rhythm of it, and like even because normally like that's not something I sit down and I listen to while I'm at the crib. But with
Yeah.
Soca going and I'm outside, man, if you ever been to like
Yeah.
what's the game, Carnival or whatever,
Yeah. This
Soca
yeah.
boys in the house. What up? All right, shout out, Brad. What up?
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
call ourselves, man. We call ourselves the Soca
yeah,
Boys, man.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it, man. But that's
Yeah,
man, dude.
man.
Back in,
So
in New York, man, just like when that joint be playing outside, like oh
yeah,
man, like that's when you really, yeah, that
get up.
joint get
Yeah,
down like
you know
that.
what? Like it has
No
an
doubt, no
energy
doubt.
to it, and
Yeah,
it has an energy, and it has a good put well for me at least it puts me in a good space in a good feeling, to where I'm like, yeah, I could vibe out to this,
nah. And
and
so I've been on a reggae kick lately, man. That's
mm,
kind of what I've been doing. And my daughter is 8, so my daughter, my baby girl, she is she's me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's funny like your kids, you got to let them have their own personality, man. You got to
you
let them
have
be
to.
themselves. you got to let them appreciate what what they're gonna vibe to. But I put her on the Bougie Wonton the other day, and I didn't know she was
Yo,
gonna connect with it like that.
yeah, man.
The
Yo,
girl fell
his
in
that
love with
first
Bougie.
album, man. That first album, you just vibe. You just chill. You just vibe to
So
it,
you,
man.
I would expect that you talking about Till Shiloh,
Of course.
right? You know that's not his first.
Oh, yeah. Well, no. Well, that's my first album I heard from him. Yeah,
Yeah, that's that
Bougie
because
Bougie was.
that is one of my all times. When we talk like let's talk like all
Mm-hmm.
time favorite music, like favorite albums. That is one of my like I could probably put that in my top five out of all the albums I love. Till Shiloh is like that's one of my babies,
Yeah,
right? But he got he got an album, Voice of Jamaica, that was right before that, and
yeah,
then he got I think it changed title so much. So I think it was Stamina Daddy. I think that was the original joint of that
yeah,
back when he was still and Mr. Mention. So he got a couple albums before that, but he was still doing like slack music. He was still doing
yeah,
straight, dance hall, boom, bye, bye,
yeah,
boo,
yeah,
that
yeah,
style.
yeah.
So, but
You
when,
know,
when she caught on, man, and like she knows the lyrics already, like she don't
wow.
understand patois, you know what I mean? But she's like
Yeah,
she's singing along with it, and she like, yo, dad, I want you to play, whatever track from Bougie.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See,
Like
like,
I'm
see,
touched by that.
like growing up, my guys was they were all, it was always like TOK was like my group. War 21 was my guys. And Elephant Man. Of course.
Yeah,
But here's the funny thing, and
what up?
everybody likes Sean Paul because Sean Paul, he spoke mostly in English the whole time.
Yeah,
If you think
but
about
you
it,
you couldn't have Sean Paul without Supercat.
see, yes. Oh my
You know what I
God,
mean? And so
the
that was
gangster,
my,
the
yeah, Supercat
real
was Dolly My
gangster.
Baby. That was
Yeah,
like
the real gangster.
that's when I
Yeah,
was when
man.
I was in New York at the time. That's when I was rolling around in New York in Harlem. Like I'm pumping Supercat,
Yeah, man. Super Cat was
Bandana,
that dude,
that
man.
type of shit. Hey, tennis song. I like them old school cats like tennis song. Ring the alarm.
So
Another
you heard the
song is dying. Yeah,
yeah. So you heard this. You heard the story about how a dude pulled a gun on him and he had to pull out and the dude's gun stuck and his didn't. You know,
yeah. Brother was on the run for a minute, man. But you
yo,
talk about somebody raw. Wild Apache, Supercat was a raw dude. Tennyson was raw too,
raw.
and that was the other thing because like Tennyson was his man, and Tenor got murked, and he was connected with that whole thing. Yeah, it's a whole
Yeah,
lot, man. Matter of fact, if you ever get a chance, I'm gonna send it to you because I gotta find it. There's a whole show on YouTube right now. The dude got a whole channel dedicated to dance hall history. So he talk
wow.
about all the cats from Tennyson, U
Yeah,
Roy, Barrington Levy,
yeah,
all of them. And he tell their whole story,
yeah.
everything that happened to him. Wow,
Wow.
Jamaica
You know
was
what's
wild,
crazy,
bro.
man? You know what the one thing I always wanted, but we never got it
What's that?
was
What's
that
that?
Vegas and Sean Paul album. That's what I wanted
Man,
because
here comes the
together,
boom. Here comes the
those two
boom,
together
bitch.
is magic.
Yeah, man. But it was so much stuff happening in Jamaica, man. Just as far as not even just like with the Rude Boys and like how rough Jamaica was, but
Hmm.
the record industry, man. When you talk about like Tubby and Lee Scratch Perry and all the guys that built up the sound systems and built up
Yeah.
all the the studio box, all of them had their own stories. And then you got Island Records coming in and people getting jerked for their money.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of those cats, man, they still out there. Like I just saw Tenor Saw the other day. He's the cat that did the joint action. He kind of sounded like
Oh
Boosie
yeah,
a
that's
little
that's
bit.
my guy, man. Actually, was my
Yeah,
track, man.
right. He's still out there, but he has some mental health issues. Dude, he don't look like he in the best of health, but he still got his voice. So he
Yeah.
was like DJing, like just they randomly found him on the street, and like he still got his, which is crazy to me.
You
Like
know what's something crazy? You know who was crazy? Ninja Man.
Ninja, Ninja, going back and forth with Moses. What's the thing? Beanie Man. Going back and
Oh
forth
yeah,
with Beanie Man. Like he had sound clashes with some of the best that were out there. Eka Mouse.
yeah,
He went back and forth. He went back and forth with the legends. Once
yeah.
again, he locked
Yeah.
up too. You
Yep.
know what I mean? He locked up for good. It like
Yep.
the boys went
Vi-
through it.
Vibes Cartel.
vibes, man. And see, I love all these cats, and that's the stuff that I really grew up on. Like that's the stuff that I listen to when I want to get in the vibe, man. But when you get into like, I'm gonna send you that link. When you go back and get in the
Yeah.
vibes history, when you get into Ninja Man's history, you're gonna be like, yo, what the hell was going on? Like,
Yo, it's
uh, my favorite out of all the DJs, and my favorite like dancehall song is Yellow Man, Zunga Zoom.
mm,
Zunga 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 Zunga.
yeah,
That shit, I put that
yeah.
on, I black out. I could play that shit like 15 times in a row.
You know what? Like back then, because pretty much like because Capleton, his whole catalog should be banned off of Spotify, but they haven't caught on yet.
Yeah, yeah,
They haven't caught on
yeah.
yet.
That when you talk about somebody that like should be canceled with the way things going right now, yeah, Capleton can get out there right now.
So
Capleton,
John,
come on.
so John got a question
Yeah,
for you. He said he
yeah.
he was saying, do you know any good cigar lounges
All right, so I,
out
got-
in
I
North
got I got a
Carolina?
confession to make, John. So in Tarboro at that time, I was when I grew up in Tarboro, I was completely anti-tobacco.
Mm,
I was a street kid, right? I was a latchkey. My mom's, single moms. My pops passed when I was 9 months old, and I talk about this on my live too. That I had an
yeah.
uncle who was an alcoholic, and
Mm.
I love this cat to death, man. I loved him, and
Oh,
but
I just
like,
got to cut this quick shot real quick.
no
So I
doubt, no
get you in the
doubt.
background. There we go. Got you. Good.
So
Yeah. I like that.
so 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 uncle was he was in the streets too, and I
Mm,
saw what he was going through. So like I vowed never to touch alcohol, and I wouldn't touch tobacco at all too. So later on, I had a homeboy who passed away at 17. He went out to he went out to Kill Devil Hills, and he and his brothers went out in the water, and he got caught in the riptide.
wow.
Anybody that know if he was in Rocky Mountain, he knows he's probably been through all the floods and all that kind of stuff too.
Hmm.
If he wasn't
Wow.
already out of there by then, so we would get hurricanes all the time. So my man, like right after a hurricane, he went out to the beach and it was still riptides. So when he passed away, his name was Cal. He was an MC. He went by the name Doctor Who. His brother was a DJ that's in Greensboro now called Doctor not Doctor J, Capital J. So like anybody in North Carolina might know who Cap J is. Anyway, saying that to say, so when he stopped, I started rolling up because they were really in the herb at the time. So in his
Yeah.
honor, I started rolling up trees. So that was the only thing that I knew about tobacco. Like I would, twist up blunts and all that. Hopefully I can talk
Hmm.
about that on this show. So we would
Yeah.
twist up, we would roll up. I was like
Yeah.
15, 16. I hadn't had a cigar until I got into culinary school. I was already in Virginia at the time. I was 28 years old the first time that I really sat back and lit a
Mm,
cigar. So during that time, there were no cigar lounges out there. That whole thing, like they just got like a brewery company in Tarboro, TBC. They just got a
yeah.
brewery company out there. So that stuff didn't exist. So I didn't really get onto that until I moved to Hampton Roads, Virginia, and started like trying to understand food. So it's funny that you was asking me that question, like how I compare, different foods to cigars.
Yep.
My man G up in here, what up, homie? But like I didn't get into that until like I started trying to figure out flavor profiles and
Yeah.
preferences and started tasting wines and I was like, yo, let me see what these cigars are all about. So I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about it then, man. It was no cigar lounges out there. If I could, if things go right, if I could go back home now and connect a cigar lounge to that brewery company downtown Tarboro, I would do that because I think my town needs that because they
Yeah.
finally growing and making something. You feel me? So yeah, none of that existed back then, man. I was a street dude smoking Phillies and White Owls at that time, bro. That's all I knew.
Yeah. You know what, man? Yo, that's a funny thing. I've never smoked. Well, cigars is the only thing I've ever smoked, and the one thing that I did, uh, the one thing I never did was I never smoked a black and mouth.
Nope.
Yeah, never smoked any of those things. So it's kind of
And
crazy.
my boys, all right. So the dudes that I grew up with were raw. Like they
Hmm.
like we was 14, 15, and we was running around the streets like my mom was working until like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. So I
Yeah.
had like all day just like to just bounce and just go. We would hop on bikes. And my boys would go into like the Food Lions and they would go into Roses and all that, and they would just steal bottles of Boone's Farms, Thunderbird,
Mm.
stick them in their coats,
Boy,
come out, they
you.
would sit around, they would drink, and I didn't drink, and I didn't start smoking until I was later with them. So I used to sell herb and all that, like so, like we was out there, bro. Like when I tell you, we was doing some wild shit, but that's how we got down. You know, everybody they would drink and they would hype up their Black and Miles. You know, these
Yeah.
cats would like clear out all the tobacco, repack it, and do all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So I know the culture. It just wasn't for me.
Me.
I just
Yeah.
never did it.
Mm. Yeah. So John said sorry for your loss.
Respect, man. Thank you, man. That's
Yeah. So
like
what? So what? Where is Kill Devil Hills?
Kill Devil Hills is like right on the northern coast of North Carolina. So like you got Kill Devil Hills that's out in I think it's considered part of the Outer Banks. So you know, like on North Carolina, you got that outer edge of just islands
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So you got the beach that's right there, and then you got the Outer Banks. So it's right up there in the northern part. So
Mm.
Kill Devil Hills is like the spot where people would go during the summers to kick back and get the beach, or they would go down south to Myrtle Beach. To that, and that's where we would go to the beaches and stuff like that. They had the
Yeah.
sand dunes and all that kind of stuff. So it's love out there, man. So you got to really kind of know that
Yeah.
eastern part of North Carolina and Virginia to really know anything about Kill Devil Hills.
Was
So
so my boy B. I always gotta give him a shout out because 914 is always in the house, man. You know
shouts
that's
out
my
to you.
area. That's my area code where I grew up. That's oh,
I
go ahead,
gotta
go ahead.
give him love for the name Mumra. I'm an '80s kid, so that's Thundercats right there. So anybody
Yeah.
that that knows that off the top, yes,
Yeah.
I
Mumra,
am a
yeah.
Saturday morning cartoon kung fu nerd. So like
Yo,
to see that, just yeah, shouts out to you for that one, bro.
man, listen, there was nothing like Thundercats, you name it, man. It was nothing like it, man.
Transformers, GI
Yo,
Joes,
G.I. Joe's,
Centaurs,
yep. Yo, the
Gundar the
crazy thing was,
Barbarian. I know
oh,
all of that shit, man.
all of it. Like
Mask.
the crazy thing was is the fact that they had Sergeant Slaughter over on G.I. Joe for a little while.
I had the Sergeant Slaughter joint. I had the
Nice.
Sergeant Slaughter toy. Like, dude, like I'm really of that cloth, man. I'm from that era. So I didn't have a lot as a kid. But the dopest thing was when I lived in Virginia before I moved back to North Carolina, my mom
Mm.
worked for Toys R Us. So
Wow. Oh yeah.
her way. That was
Yep.
her way of being able to, bring us toys. So she brought me the GI Joe twins
Yeah.
from back in the day, and they had like the little drawstring that they could zip line across the room. I could tie that joint to my door in the room. I had that and Sergeant Slaughter. I thought I was the coolest kid in the neighborhood because I had that shit, man.
Yo, you know what the crazy like my cousin, he worked at KB Toys for a little while.
Right.
Yo,
That's
KB
what's up. I
Toys,
remember KB. I remember KB
KB
toys,
Toys,
man.
yeah, man. Yo, it's crazy, man. Back in the day, man, we had some good shit that was just undervalued, man.
Yeah,
Undervalued,
dude.
like back, like because my but still to this day, my shit is Ninja Turtles, man. Turtles is
Man.
still I would go up like my brother, his boys Raphael, mine's was Leonardo, and the younger one, he used to just hop on. We was give nunchucks just like here, take you be Donatello here. He's because
No
he's like
doubt.
2 or 3, so so my mom would buy him the fake little town talons.
The tie joints. Yeah, the ties.
I would have the
Yeah.
sword, but the thing was that I wouldn't be able to get 2 swords. I only be get one. So I'm like, man, I'm a bootleg Leonardo out here.
I just bought my nephew, man. My nephew lives in Charlotte. He's 6. So he just saw the new Ninja Turtles joint. So now
Yeah,
he a turtle fan. So I had to buy him the whole collection. I got him all 4 of the new joints, and I got him the truck because he loved cars. So I just sit that down there. And it's funny because my niece is a couple years younger, and I sent her like all the little stuff that she could play with, like to put on
yeah.
hats and glasses, and so she could dress up. Why this chick playing with the Ninja Turtles just as much as him, man? That shit made my day, yo. So
Hmm.
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm cut from that cloth, man. That's my era.
Yeah,
My son
like
ain't really with
man,
it like that, man. My son really into like playing Zelda on his Switch and all that kind
it
of stuff,
of
man.
course,
Like that.
man. Yo, Super Zelda is in my top 10 games of all time, man.
Facts. All
Super
facts.
Zelda is in my top 10 games. That regular Punch Out, Turtles in Time has to. If it's not
Yo,
if it's not if it's not your top 10, you got issues.
I wish I could go into my son's room right now. If it's connected to the other area, I would. I can get to my daughter's room right here. But if I
Yeah,
can get to my son's room, I got what do you call them? Arcade one ups.
yeah,
I got him
mhm.
the Turtles in Time joint that switched to the other Ninja Turtles game, yo. Me and him
Yo,
sit back and just go fighting
that's
over who get the
fire.
pizza first. That yeah, man. I'm proud of that
Like,
shit. Next thing I gotta get though is the Street Fighter joint, Marvel versus Capcom,
hmm
and Marvel versus Street
yes,
Fighter. I gotta
sir.
get that shit for my room.
Yes,
I
sir.
like I'm a grown ass man and I'm gonna buy that shit for myself.
Yo, that man, so many quarters wasted on Street Fighter, Final Fight, Final Fight.
Tekken,
Yeah,
all yeah.
yeah,
Yo,
all
I
that,
used to
man.
in Tarboro, we had a little small mall that we used to hang out in. We was mall rats, and it was called Park Hill Mall. And I used to go in that joint. I would leave school for lunch, hop over the fence, go across the street to the mall, and put 1 quarter in, and I would whip somebody on Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, and then
Yep.
I would just give them my quarter and go back to school. Like that's
Yo,
how much I love that shit, man. That was my game.
Final Fight, man. Final Fight was my game. Yo, man, I used to sit
Give me
there
Cody and
pounding it.
whooping.
Yeah,
Power driving
like
people with hag off. Like,
head go.
yeah,
Oh,
that
yo, Noah, be wrecked and Contra. Yo, man, listen, I still remember the Contra code. Up, up,
up,
down, down,
down,
left.
down, left,
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah,
A B start.
yeah, yeah. And that's the only way you can beat the game. If you didn't go and get those 30 lives, you wasn't beating that game.
Me and my cousin would sit there and try to beat it without the code, man. We got
Yo,
far. Like that. You give me that, and you give me Metroid, and like I forget I got a family, man. I will black out. You give me Contra and Metroid or River
yo,
City Ransom. A lot of people don't remember River City
River
Ransom.
City. Yeah. See, my dream was Bad Dudes, because Bad Dudes
Oh,
was just like, yeah. So like Bad Dudes was just like Double Dragon.
Bad Deuce is my shit too. What
Bad
was the
Dudes.
joint, man? It was called Renegade. A lot of
Mm,
people don't remember Renegade, but Renegade is the game that started all of that. It was the
wow.
first side scroller, and it was if you remember like Super Dodgeball, River City
Yeah,
Ransom, the
yeah.
characters that looked like that. Renegade was the one that had the same characters, and you could go through. That was the first real walkthrough beat 'em up. That and Double Dragon. So
Mm-hmm.
like once again, I would sit there for hours as a kid, hop on my bike. I would ride all the way over to Princeville, and my great aunt, she was the candy lady. You know how everybody in the South,
Yep.
there's a candy lady. There's the lady that my great aunt was the candy lady. Spotlight. We would just go there and sit there and play video games in her
Uh,
shop all day and just buy penny
yeah.
candy.
Double Dragon was, man. Listen, hours.
I used
That
to think
joint
about
and
Double
P
Dragon.
and POV, Prisoner of War.
You
Yo, Prisoner of War, man. Like, yo, we didn't move.
So my
We didn't
my
move.
goal out here in Japan, since a
Uh,
lot of that stuff comes from Japan, like
yeah,
their arcade systems are like not what they used to be, man. So my goal here is like I go out and try to find the actual
it's-
arcades because what they
yeah,
like out here, they got those the claw machines and
yeah,
like the video games that they play those a lot. And they play like they got beat making machines where you either play the drums or you make
yeah.
beats on the machines. It's kind of wild to see them and they like that dance revolution
Yo,
type
that
stuff. So
man, listen, like that didn't like there'll be kids like growing up. We had a spot called and B know it, man. A
what the
spot
fuck was
called
that? Yeah.
New Rock City. New and like and yo and all and they had their own little crew that be back there on Dances Revolution 24/7, doing all the dance moves, doing all of it. I'm like,
Yeah, I had
yo,
a
I'm
homeboy that was
like,
like that
I'm,
too.
I'm not coordinated
Back
enough
when I
to do
worked
it.
in the kitchen, I can't do that shit either. I can't do that shit. Like I can dance, but I can't dance like that. When I'm trying to, like, I got two left feet when it comes to that
Yeah.
dancing. My homeboy, this cat named Chase, he just came
Mm-hmm.
out to Japan. I kicked it with him in Tokyo, probably like maybe 3 or 4 months back. And he was one of the chefs that I used to kick it with back when I lived in Virginia. So it was kind of cool to have one of my, cooking homeboys come all the way out to Japan. Got to
Yeah.
link up with him, and that was his thing. He went out to all the different arcades that was in Tokyo doing, and he was competing with the Japanese cats doing Dance Revolution joints. Man, it was kind of cool to see him just like in his
Yeah, but
element.
you can't hold your own against those dudes.
He got busy, man. That was his thing. He was one of those cats. That was his thing. So to see him come out and compete with them Japanese cats, they
Yeah,
spent yo when they get off, they sweating like they've been in the gym hooping for
Jim, yo,
hours.
like
Like
a workout.
they get busy, b. And that was never me, man. I was like, yo, I'm looking for Street Fighter. Let me sit down because
Yo,
here the
exactly.
arcades you sit down and play.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's kind of cool,
Nah,
man.
no, listen, there's no sitting down. You gotta stand up and
That's
be hitting that joystick. Yo,
yeah,
for real,
that's for sure.
like
I
that,
just like
and
the
then
fact that I can sit up here and nerd out with you and talk about video
yo,
games and shit, man. Let
yo,
me just go
man,
ahead and say that shit.
yeah, for
Let me
real,
say that.
man. Like
You can
yo,
see the smile on my face, man, because like that's my shit. I'm 40 plus, and I still like I was in uh Akibahara. Akibahara is an area in Tokyo that used to be the electric district. So
yeah,
everything out there, when you go out there now, it's like nothing but anime, arcades,
dude,
and all,
I'm a big
it's
see.
just lit.
I'm a big anime nerd too now, man. Like I
There's
could do
fun
anime
all out here, man.
all day. You know, I could do anime all day. Like, but back in the day, you remember we had Ninja Scroll.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Ninja
Ninja
Scroll
Scroll.
Fire,
We had
Akira.
a kid.
My
Yeah,
all-time favorite, my all-time favorite is Fist of the North Star. I'm a
yo,
Bruce Lee diehard.
yo, I
Anybody
was
know
right
me? I'm
about to
Bruce
say
Lee all
that.
day.
I was right about to say that. Yo,
Yeah.
Fist of the North Star was in. Yo, that was my shit. And then and
Ninja
like
Scroll was raw. Ninja Scroll, like you can't front on Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll is like that's the joint that turned everybody and just like, yo,
yo,
what is this? But for me, my man with the laser hands,
yo,
and he would
my
just like,
boy, yeah, he come through. Yeah, and then when Ryo came up and kicked homie in the stomach, he was like, "Yo, you already dead," and walked off on him.
Maiwa, motion yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's my love right there, man. Ninja Scroll is
yeah,
classic
man,
though. Shout out to you.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Like
man.
yo,
So it's
like
kind of cool. Like my son is in the Demon Slayer right now. Like
yeah,
that's his shit.
Demon Slayer is that's my like that in My Hero Academia, man. My Hero Academia, it sucks you in with the storyline. But for me and my son, our show is Baki.
I haven't checked it yet. I gotta check that joint. It's fire.
You got to get go on Netflix and watch and you got to and watch Baki. So
I'm on
and
it, man.
Baki, it's a dude. His whole thing is he wants his sons to be stronger than him, he has to go one on one. He has to thump with his son.
Oh, okay, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Yeah,
Make
so
sure
like
if
so
you think about it, send me that link later so I don't forget. My memory is horrible, man. So send me
I
that so
got
I
you.
don't
I
forget.
got you, man. Yeah,
Send me that. I need to sit back and check that
Baki was
out.
my shit.
Did you see the new joint that they just put out on Netflix? Blue Eye
Blue Eyes,
Samurai.
I can't do it. I can't watch it. I didn't
Say
like it.
word.
I
Say
didn't like it.
word. Explain to me why you didn't like that joint, man.
I didn't like the artwork.
What?
So I'm smoking the Legion cigar right now.
Cameroon.
Yo,
I
camera.
had to show love to Sanj, and I got the Lancero joint, the Connecticut coming up
Mm-hmm.
after that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm working my way to that. Yo,
Yeah, like
speaking of man, I don't want to side because I do want to know your opinion on why you didn't like that. But I got to get inside the socks, man. I love Sanj, and he can call me all the motherfuckers he wants to. I know he will.
mm-hmm.
I need him to put a ban on this, man. It don't need to be nothing that'll take the paper. It ain't got to be fancy. But yo, I was almost late yesterday. Like I thought I was. Yeah, I know I was a little bit late for this show, but I thought I was gonna be late yesterday when I thought the time was yesterday to be on. Because I'm going
Mm-hmm.
through all of my side cigars, man. I'm just like, yo, is this the Habano or is this the Cameroon? And I'm comparing them shits
Yeah,
and the lights
yeah.
and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to smell them shits. Come on, Sarge, man. You gotta do something for me, man. Put some kind
Yeah.
of ban on it.
You know what the funny thing is the fact that you know the funny thing about it is well because I'm in the shop so I can look at it. I can look at any but yeah, this is this is that. You
Right,
know, so for
right.
me it's a lot easier. The only one that might confuse me is maybe the Cameroon and the Maduro because they both had that dark that dark wrapper. Besides that, I can always tell the shits apart. But I'll let Sanj know when I see him.
man, because I love this joint. I love this Cameroon. And the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, like, I like the Habano, but here's the thing that I love about it. Because once you light it up, you know which one you got.
Yep.
Because they literally taste different. And that's the thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
you don't even have to have the best palate in the world. But when I did that joint, I did that video the other day. I did the short when I was sitting outside, by the water, and I was smoking the Cameroon. It wasn't a
Yeah.
Cameroon. It was actually Habano. Because when I got into it, I
Mm.
was like, fuck, man, this is the Habano. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to
Yep.
smoke that first thing in the morning, B.
Yeah.
So the day I was like, man, I gotta make sure I got the right one, man. So I gotta get inside socks about that shit. Yo. You gotta change that.
Yeah.
I love this unbanded. I love the price. I love the flavors. Come on, man. Help a brother out.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I kind of wish I could kind of go through and like redo some of my favorite cigars because really this Cameroon would be up there like in some of my top 10 lists right now. So I
Yeah.
might have to just come back on maybe in a few months or so, and I might just do a show where I just dedicate it
I would
to
say
this
this, man.
Cameroon.
Yo, my top five change every month, man. Because anything that comes in there, I'm like, all right, we just got this brand in. All right, let me try it. And I'm like, oh, this is fire.
And you know what the thing is, your palate evolves so much, man. Because like you're gonna smoke certain things, and then like I don't know if it's like more than food, I compare cigars to music.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I do that because I get in these moods. Like I might be in a mood where I'm listening to 90s R&B,
Yep.
right? Then I might be in a mood where I'm on like some more modern hip hop, and I might be listening to Yachty or I might be listening
Oh,
to Uzi. You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
yeah. Oh, we got a loser in the chat right now.
What we got, man? What up, man? Cigars Unvetted. What up,
You know,
though?
who that is?
Which one is that? Who is that?
That's Peter.
Peter, what up, homie? I'm looking for the cigar collector joint. My
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Cigar size up in here too. What up? What
yeah,
up?
man.
The homies in here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So like you get into that vibe, man. Like you get in the moods, and then like because right now I've been in the mood for this Cameroon.
Yeah.
That's been my go-to right now. So I go through these spells. It's like okay, this is cigar. Like before it was the Micarita. That's the only thing I was smoking for a minute because that was
Yeah.
the vibe that I was
You know what? So here's the funny thing, Max. Here's the funny thing for you. So like you talk about 90s R&B.
in. Hmm.
So like when you look at R. Kelly's the tracks that he wrote is insane. So
Yeah, man.
you know
We're
you
gonna
you
do
know
this.
you know Fortunate by Maxwell was his song.
Yep. When
That's
you listen to it, you can hear it.
yeah,
When you can take Maxwell's voice out and then put Kel's in there, and it's like okay, I know. Like I knew before Maxwell even said anything, I knew it was R. Kelly. But just because like my brother was early in the day, he probably gonna be mad for me saying it, but he used to love Kells. Like he's
I
the dude
still I,
that put
I,
me on
I
the
still
song
love
collector.
Kels, man. Well,
I can't
like
rock with him, man.
you can't. But here's the thing.
I can't.
You know what? So and know what? Now this is real talk. This is real 150% talk. We
Let's get into
all
it.
know we all know those dudes that would come around the high school.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We all
Matter
know
of fact,
dudes that would look at
I got homies that lived in Chicago and knew him when he was out there at their
yeah,
schools. Because that was the time. We was in high school,
yeah,
92 to 94 to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we
yeah.
was in high school when he was out there. So I got
Hmm.
homies like my girl Mika. I know she ain't watching this, but shout out to my girl Mika. She was like, yo, she knew him and she knew Twister. Twister used to live down the street from her.
Yeah,
So she knew them cats personally. So she was like, yeah, we knew, Robert was on long before anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
There you go. So
Yo, John, have a good night, man.
peace, brother. Thanks for joining in with us, man. Appreciate you,
Yeah,
man.
like that's the thing, man. Like and the sad thing is that it goes on. But also too, like these older cats, they 21, 22 years old, they come around with a car and what they doing, and word gets around town who's fast, who's not. So they know they could throw a little change at them. And it's
What's
like, dude,
crazy
like,
is like I knew so many girls at that time that had boyfriends that was
In
21,
college.
25. Yeah, 25. Like it was a regular thing. It was certain girls. It was like, yo, we knew we could holler at her because we knew her dude already had a car. And we already knew
Exactly.
like he was established, especially in the South. That
Yeah.
was it is what it is. But when you think about it, man, like I love like my favorite singer of all time is Marvin Gaye. I
Yeah.
love Marvin Gaye. I can go through all of his albums. I got them on vinyl. I got my
Uh
dad's original 1972 What's Going On. I got the original copy of that shit, like faded cover and everything. And like the printing on it is different. Like that, like I'm a music buff.
yeah.
I love Marvin Gaye. But if you've ever read Marvin Gaye's biography, if you know anything about Marvin Gaye, Kales ain't got shit on Marvin Gaye.
Mm.
Kales ain't got shit on Rick James.
Well, you know
Kales
what?
ain't
Rick
got shit
Rick, Rick
on
James was
James
one,
Brown.
but you know what the thing was? It was because you gotta remember Motown only had three writers back in the day. It
Mm-hmm.
was Smokey Robinson
Shout out Smokey.
and the other two dudes.
Right,
You know,
right.
like they only had three writers, and
And
they
that
wrote
was the
for
thing about
everybody.
Marvin. Marvin was like, yo, I don't need them to write for me. I can do my own shit.
Yeah,
That's
but
why he and Barry Gordy had beef.
here's the thing, because Barry was taking that money off the top. That's what it was. Because he would be able to control you with, all right, well, the only thing you getting paid for is your performances and your album sales. You're not getting any of the top money that the people that touch the money first.
Nah.
That's the thing. So it's
You know what?
so guys, sorry, no,
My
I
bad.
cut you off.
I ain't mean to step on your toes.
No.
What's funny about that, because this is where like I get into my music nerd shit too. What's funny is that because two people he couldn't control. He couldn't control Stevie Wonder and he couldn't control Marvin. And when them two stepped out, it was like, yo, we're gonna do our own thing.
Yep.
They were still under the Tamla records. They were still under the subdivision of Motown, but they were under
Yep.
Tamla. And they were doing their own thing. Once they decided, like, yo, let us make our own music, they both went into their classic period.
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye did What's Going On. He did Let's Get It On. He did Hear My Dear. He did uh what's the duality album? I can't think of it. I can see it In My Lifetime.
Mm.
Stevie Wonder did Music of My Mind,
Yeah.
Talking Book. He did Fulfilling His Personality. He did that whole 5 album run. There was really 7 albums when you think about it, but that's a whole other story. But the fact that when those dudes was like, you got Smokey, you got
Yeah.
these cats. I can't remember the brothers' names, but you got those two cats that
Yeah.
let them write for all these other people. Let them do the Supremes and all that. Let us rock and let us make our own music. That's when the
Mm-hmm.
boys got busy. The only reason Marvin Gaye didn't win a bunch of Grammys is because Stevie was that nice. That's the only reason. That's the
Yeah.
only competition that he had.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you go into those dudes' biography, man, like it's really hard to be able to separate the man from the music.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And that and
Mm-hmm.
like and I have a hard time, I guess, because I love Marvin and Stevie so much, and I love James Brown so much that it's hard for me to separate them like the way that I do with R. Kelly. Like I
Yeah.
can't. It's hard. Like I don't go back and and play the Chocolate Factory and
Yeah.
12 play
TP2.
TP2. I don't like I still got memories of those albums. I remember buying TP2. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember like buying that album. Like he had the fur coat on, and you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like I still remember that album. Oh, damn, that was like what 2001, 2000, something like that.
Yeah. Like yeah.
So like I still like I appreciate him as a songwriter. I appreciate him. He literally is a musical genius. Like,
Yeah.
and people don't want to say it, but the motherfucker's a musical genius, man. That
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker wrote for Celine Dion. He wrote for Maxwell
Exactly. Michael
and made
Jackson.
hits, right? And made hits.
Yeah.
And you can't deny that talent based on the
Can't.
type of person he was, because you couldn't, most of your favorite artists you wouldn't be able to listen to. You couldn't listen to Marvin Gaye, you couldn't listen to Rick James, you couldn't listen to James Brown, you couldn't listen to um, what's the chick, Ike Turner. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
could go down the
Yeah.
list of like most of your favorites, especially from that era. You couldn't listen to Michael. Never got caught up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff that happened to Michael Jackson was was more conjecture and people
Yeah,
accusing him. But if you really want to think about it that way, you really couldn't listen to Mike either.
yeah. So like yeah, so like you were saying Mike Arc that was R, the R album, the
Mm-hmm.
double album.
Well, yeah. But
Man.
when you're thinking about it, if you just look at it from a music standpoint, just those albums that we named from R. Kelly, 12 Play, the R album, TP2, Chocolate Factory. If you take out what his past was, those are classics.
Yeah. Like, like for me, like listen, like sometimes like I like to go up and I'm here and I'll throw on my old school mix and I'll throw on the Delphonics,
Mm,
the Dells, Billy Stewart. I can just I could and you could just go on and on and on. But the crazy thing about music too is the fact that you got somebody like Luther Vandross, but all Luther's
yeah,
hits were remakes.
yeah.
All his
Well,
hits were
Beyond
remakes.
Work shit. Oh, yeah, facts.
You
Except for
know,
what
and
I think House is not a home. I think that's his.
but
But I got to double check on that. But I don't. But
but
most of
but
his major
most
joints
of the
is
stuff is
remix.
remakes.
Right. Yeah. Facts.
And that's the craziest thing because you got people like Shaka Khan. You know,
I got that album in the crib too.
yeah,
Rufus. I got that in the crib
yeah,
too. Minnie Riperton. We can go all day. Like you know what I'm saying. Like and see for me, what I love about like Stevie and Marvin. A lot of people don't know like when you hear all like the background harmonies on Marvin's
yeah.
album, every voice is his.
Mm,
He don't have no background singers. Every bit of harmony he did that he laid down, and this is back in the '70s when you had to lay down separate tracks for
yeah,
each of your vocals. He did that shit all by himself. Stevie played all of his instruments. He wrote all of his songs. How you have 7 classic albums, and you wrote, arranged, and produced all of that shit by yourself? You know how crazy that is?
so you know what? I like Stevie, but for me, I would put the Isley brothers. Only the reason I'll put them ahead of Stevie is the fact that they had a hit in every single decade.
Yeah, that's major. But good point. But you think about that. Those that's a whole family of supremely talented musicians
Yeah, yeah.
against one man.
Gets one man.
So in the same effect, I'm diehard Michael Jackson. Like
Yeah.
that
Oh,
that was
through
the
and
first
through. Yeah.
album I ever owned. I was 4 years old. My mom's boyfriend Freddie James brought down Thriller to me on cassette, and I remember the day I was in his house and he gave it to me, and I remember putting it in his tape deck and playing it. That like I was 4 years old and I
Hmm.
still have that memory. So I'm Mike all day, but Mike needed Quincy. He needed Rod Temperton. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He needed his brothers. And
Yo,
his best music when he was
Rod Tippett. Yo, he wrote hits. Rod wrote hits.
now you can't take it from Mike. Mike wrote some bangers too. But like
Yeah.
a lot of the joints, like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is my all-time favorite. That's Mike.
Yeah.
Mike
Yo,
produced it, he
know
wrote it.
what's crazy?
That's it.
Yo,
What
I'll
up?
be in the living room with my socks on, doing that damn dance of "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough."
You know the whole thing back and
The
forth.
whole
Like
by
y'all
heart,
ain't gonna see that.
the whole
I know it by
dance.
heart. But I put Stevie ahead of him, or not Stevie, but I would put Prince ahead of Mike because I don't listen to Prince as much. But Prince
Was a
wrote,
bad dude.
arranged, played all the music.
Played all.
Think
Yep.
about it. He wrote for the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Prince was writing for all Apollonia, like all them joints, Morris Day and the Time. He wrote all of that shit.
Yeah. Especially more than to yeah. No, what the thing
For
is
being able
is
to, what up?
no, sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No,
You
it's you.
talk.
It's you.
No, what I was gonna say, like the thing is too is that it was always with artists. It was always a fight for power
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, yo, I want my credits. Like I want my money for writing the song. Like all those middle people that touching the money before I touch it, they should that was Prince's biggest problem, and that's when he became an artist known as Prince because he didn't own his publishing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my favorite thing about Prince, man, is when he went on that run where he went by the symbol and he was writing slave on his face during that whole
Yep.
time. And then after that, everybody that's in music right now got a story about Prince calling him up like, yo, you got your publishing?
Yeah.
Like this is how you get your publishing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And Mike did the snake shit. Mike went out and bought the Beatles joint.
yo,
So
Mike is the man because Mike owns so many people publishing. But here's the thing: you have to think ahead to do
mhm.
shit like that. He owns Eminem's publishing.
Yeah, I know. But you ever see the story of how he did that shit
Yeah. Yo,
with was it Paul
you want,
McCartney?
yeah,
Him and Paul McCartney were chilling, and he was like, "Yo, man, Mike, we got to get our publishing." And Mike was like, "I'm gonna buy yours." And Paul McCartney thought he was joking. Mike went out and bought that shit for real.
hmm hmm
That's some cold blooded shit.
yeah. But that's the thing. But now, the problem now is that you got all these plants, all these people
Yeah,
that are, and
yeah.
like Taylor Swift, they got her so young that they couldn't control her for the longest. After a while, she's
I
like, "Yo, I'll remake all my stuff."
I love the shit that she did that. I love that she
Yeah,
remade the whole album, yo. That's just crazy.
yeah,
He did that shit. He redid all his joints and made an album called Debut,
yeah.
and he redid all his classic joints. And not many Jamaican artists is doing that. I thought that shit was absolutely fucking brilliant, man.
You know what the thing was? Like one thing I love about reggae artists was the fact that everybody got on the same rhythm. Like you get one
Yeah,
rhythm and everybody was
yeah,
on it.
yeah. I love that shit because you can get the Serrano joint, and then you got Sizzler on the same joint. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Yeah,
yeah, that's just love right there.
but you know what? I always wondered how they got paid from that, just because of the fact that, and also too, what's crazy is that once all those guys signed over here, you ain't hear from no more. Once Elephant Man signed a Bad Boy, he put out one album with Bad Boy, and that was it.
See, that's the problem with that. That's why Puff is in the issue that he's in right now because he was jerking everybody for their publishing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why everybody coming to get him right now
Yeah.
because like all of your shit gonna come to light, man, because everybody is gonna like
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna roast you, man, and because you took their money. That's the only way you
Yeah.
can survive in music, man. If you got your people.
So Pete, I'm smoking this guy right here, the Legion cigar.
Shouts out to you for that Legion, and I'm about to light up this Connecticut Lancero.
Yeah. Like I've been trying to get Pete on the podcast forever, but he be fronting on me. He be like, "Yeah, I need let me make some. I gotta make some time. Let me check my schedule." He was like, "Look,
I got I got lucky to get Peter on the Instagram live, man. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
only
yeah."
I got lucky to get
Like
Peter on this. Shouts out to
yeah,
my guy, man.
like Matt was like, "Yo," he was like, "Yo, I gotta get you on a new wave with us one day." I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be
Yes,
fire."
sir. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, I'll talk to them. We might do like one more
All right, all right,
in 64, and then I'm gonna
yeah,
get you on there, man. Like, dude,
yeah,
I I love when Roger was up there, man. I like
yeah,
that we had Cigar Head Fred, and I couldn't really chop it up with Fred like that, man. So I gotta be present when you come on, man. I
yeah,
gotta be
man,
there for that.
yeah.
And thank you for taking the time to put your boy on, man. I really appreciate you.
Dude, listen, yo, listen, like I don't care. I don't care if this conversation happened online or offline, man. Because the same. Honestly, this is the same conversation we would have offline.
Exactly.
That's the funny thing. The same way we talk about music, the same way we talk about it's the same conversation we would have offline. Because we just chilling,
I love this shit, man. I
you
can do this
know.
shit all day. Ah, man, I'm so hyped. Like,
Oh, oh man. So
that's
all right,
funny.
Roger. So now no, I gotta go through you now. All right, all right,
Talk
Roger.
to
So
my man.
I'll be DMing you.
Have my people get with your people. You know what I mean? You gotta do it
Exactly,
like that.
exactly. And then he gonna hit me with, yo, my business hours are from 9 to 5. My business
Hey, yo,
hours
I
from
can't front.
9.
I can't front. That is, I did a list a while back on Facebook of the all-time black movies that everybody
Uh-huh.
should watch, and in my top five was Five Heartbeats.
Has
I
to be.
don't care what. I don't care
Has
where
to
you
be.
from. I don't care what your background is. That's one of the greatest music movies ever made, man. Just just the way Robert Townsend did that movie to develop everybody's
Yeah.
character in that movie. Big
Yeah.
Red, just how quotable
Big
is that?
he became iconic because of that.
I mean, like that dude ain't never got to make another movie in his life,
Yeah.
even though he's a good character actor. he ain't never got to make another movie because he's always gonna be Big Red because that's
Yo,
like one of the best
so
scenes
like
ever in a movie. He
it's
was Suge
crazy
Knight
because
before Suge Knight.
because now the Rolex is going. So I'm like, if I had to put a top five, Oz would have to be on it.
That's TV.
No, no, no,
That's
not
TV.
Oz. The was it Wiz? The one with Michael
The
Jackson.
Wiz, the Wiz, the Wiz,
The
the Wiz
Wiz.
just came out on Netflix. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the Wiz, Five Heartbeats.
Hmm.
The Temptations is on the borderline, but what's the joke with Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor?
Oh,
Uh,
Harlem Nights for sure. You know that
Harlem
was up there.
Nights.
Harlem Nights. Harlem Nights. You know that
Harlem
was up
Nights.
there. That Boomerang was up there for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'ma kill you, Slim.
Quick. Put that little shit down.
Yeah,
And you should,
yeah.
that's it.
He say move
This
again.
alone.
He said you
Was
move
that?
again, I'm gonna shoot you in your big toe. I'm gonna shoot you in your pinky toe.
Oh, you gonna shoot an old lady in a pinky toe? Here it is. Here it is.
Pap. Yep.
Matt, if you go back through my vintage cigar catalog, I use that movie like I think I used it like twice. I think I used
Wow.
it like
Yeah.
twice. And that's what I wanted to do, man. Like I wanted to show like my love for movies and TV,
Yeah,
man. I
man.
wanted people to kind of see that shit, man. I wanted the people to like get that nostalgia. That's why I was
Yo,
always trying to throw them little tidbits in there, man.
yo, like that. Like, don't be a menace.
Don't Be a Menace is definitely up there.
A low down
Uh,
dirty shame.
have you ever seen Sugar Hill?
Of course. What?
That shit is
Man,
that's one
Sugar
of my
Hill
all
was
time.
my movie, man.
Man, people don't really give love to Sugar Hill like that. Sugar Hill and Dead Presidents. Everybody should watch those movies, man,
Yeah,
because
you know, like
it's so.
the crazy thing about Sugar Hill was the pops. You know, and the pops was a great musician, but he couldn't stay off the dope.
That
And then
first scene when the mom died
yeah,
from heroin in the first scene, and then you see like they trying to take care of his pops, and he's still hooked on heroin like that.
yep.
God, man, that's a powerful
Well,
fucking movie.
how about Crooklyn?
Oh,
Crooklyn's another one, man.
absolutely. Do the right thing. Like I know Spike had like maybe 4 or 5 movies that was on my list, man.
Yeah,
Because Malcolm X off the top, Do the Right
yeah.
Thing, Crooklyn. Yeah, you can go down the line with Spike. Spike got some bangers.
Mm-hmm.
Spike got some bangers.
Yo,
You
did you ever
gotta
watch
have it.
Fresh?
I busted stupid dope moves.
Yo, Fresh was crazy.
Fresh was up there. I put Fresh on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to go find that list, man. I'm gonna send it to you. So
Yeah,
not the self plug, but part of the reason why I stopped doing the reviews for the vintage cigar is so I'm gonna make another channel. It's gonna be called 80s Remote. So the
nice.
whole concept behind 80s Remote is all the stuff that I used to watch in the 80s as a kid that I wasn't
Revisit it.
supposed to be watching. For one, I'm gonna revisit it as an adult and compare what I thought about it as 7, 8, 9, 10
Yep.
years old to being a 40-year
Mm-hmm.
old man watching these movies. So I got a whole list of just black movies that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a whole thing of just action movies where it's gonna be like Predator,
Yeah.
Commando, you know what I'm saying, Terminator, the whole nine. I'm gonna go through that whole list. So I want to be able now that I got a spot, a crib where I can actually set up my green screen, and,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go and get into that, man. Like it's gonna be real fun, man. So I can't wait to get into that when I'm doing Dead Presidents and Five
Ye-
Heartbeats.
Yo,
Yeah,
man. Well, you know, the crazy thing about it was just like back then, though, like those movies with like Beverly Hills Cop. You know, they were
oh,
old,
that's on
and
me,
then like the old school joints with Charles Bronson, and he pulling out that big ass
man. Death Wish,
can
man.
from
Death Wish
deep.
is my shit. Death
But you
Wish
know
is
what?
my
The
shit.
only movie I cannot rewatch is gonna be them Steven Seagal movies. The only reason is because
What
I listen. Anybody know Bobby Lupo?
classic shit? Yeah, what was it? What is it? Screwface joint. He was like, "Who is it? The white boy Hatcher? I want him dead. I want his family dead."
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, yo, I can watch them shits
Battling,
all day, man.
and,
Come on, man.
and the crazy thing was he was met and he had the shower posse in there before the shower posse really blew up. Before
That's what I'm
everybody started
saying.
knowing about the Child Posse.
That's the stuff that I want to go back to. That's the stuff that I want to like sit down and like real have a real conversation. So I'm gonna bring on guests every now and then too. So
All
when I
right.
go through those movies,
Listen,
you gotta
listen.
come
When you bring
through.
me on, we gotta do Van Damme movies.
Listen, you already know I got Kickboxer, I got Bloodsport
Yeah.
up there, I got No Retreat, No Surrender on the list.
Yeah.
We going down that line. Okay, we can
Yo,
do that. We can do that. We can do
double
that.
impact. Double impact was
Double
as a kid. Double impact was my
Lionheart.
move.
Yeah,
Lionheart.
yeah. We going through that. We going see, but
Yeah,
see
man.
that that's gonna be when I get into the '90s though. That's gonna be my
Yeah,
'90s era.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna get
Yo,
there. I got you. I got you for that.
yo, you ever see the movie with Tretch? I think it was called like
Was
Loving
it
the
Strap?
Bullet.
Was it called? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That one too. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Loving the
yeah, yeah,
Bullet with
yeah.
Tretch.
That's
Yo,
some
that was
Jersey love right there. I see what you're doing. I see what you. That's some Jersey love right there.
yo that
Hugo, what
movie
up?
that movie it was fire though.
It was fire, man. Tresh was actually a lot better than he got credit for, man.
Yeah. You know
A
what?
lot of what's
A
up?
lot like my problem with Tretch is the fact that like him and Vinny are total opposites.
Yeah, all day,
Total opposites.
all day,
But
all day.
they can flow.
Yeah, Tresh, Tresh was my favorite rapper for a period.
Yeah.
It was a period where Tresh was my favorite MC for a minute. Back when doing the Feel Me Flow era.
Yeah.
That's like
You know
because
what? But
Tresh
I
had a
always
flow
like
that
Vinny more.
nobody could fuck with. Really?
I like Vinny more, man.
What?
Yeah, I
I'm
like
not
Vinny
mad at it.
more.
I'm not mad at it, but it's rare. That's rare.
Yeah. Like
I'm,
because
I'm not mad at that at all, man. I did love Vinny though, man. I got mad love for Naughty, KG. That was my
mhm.
shit, man. That was my era, man. I was
And
rocking
then
the Super
of
King.
course Redman, man.
All right. So if we could talk about like we were talking about how Marvin and and Stevie had a classic period.
Yep.
People don't give Redman his props because
At all.
Redman did What the Album, did The
Hmm.
Dark Side.
Yep.
What was the joint right after that? Was it Doc's the Name? Oh, Muddy
Doc.
Waters. Muddy Waters, then
Yep.
Doc's the Name. And he
Hmm.
didn't fall off until he did Malpractice. That's four
Yeah.
straight hip hop albums that are classics. It ain't too many
Yeah.
people that can do that, bro.
You know who don't got a classic album? Method Man.
Drake? Nah, he don't. He don't. I do love the cow,
Yeah.
but
Me
Meth
say
don't have a classic.
if you give Meth a 16, he'll destroy you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
He'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
But
One of
anything
his
more than
albums.
that, a whole album, nah. Like
And
hit
I would say the same thing about Buster too, except for the coming. But like for the like really, Buster like you put him on a 16, he gonna murder you.
it
But his albums,
bad. But you know what? Now, like what was the one? What was the shit? Something destruction. That was the joint that had put my hands where your eyes can see.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Dangerous.
yeah.
That joint with
But
Janet was on that one.
those are his singles.
True.
The rest of the album,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I give you that.
yeah, yeah. Like, and I love Bus. You know what I'm saying? Like from Leaders of the New School, I love Bus.
Yeah.
Bus is you can't say that he can't. Excuse
You
me, that he
can't.
can't
Yeah.
write. You can't say he can't rhyme. He nice because you put him on a song with anybody, he gonna murder just about anybody that's up there.
Exactly.
That's why the Leaders of the New School broke up because uh, Charlie Brown couldn't handle it. Bus is too
Mm.
much of this, rah rah
Wow.
in
Yeah.
your face shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But album wise, I don't go back and listen to Busta album. But you got
You know who had a
Ghostface.
really good first album, man? Nori.
Who's that? Oh yeah.
Nori's first
Oh
album
yeah.
was crazy.
Here's the thing. Nori is not my favorite MC
Nah.
because I can still never forgive him for saying, I run laps around the English Channel and yo Neptunes, I got a cocker spaniel. What? Bro, what? The fuck you just say?
Yo,
So,
yo.
but if you think about Capone and Noriega, the
Yeah,
CNN era, TONY, Invade NY, Multiply, Killer, like
Yeah, yeah,
Nori, banned from TV. He
yeah,
blacked out on that joint. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? The first album, what was it? Was it NORE? It wasn't Super Thug, was it? I think it was. I
No, no,
think Super
it was
Thug joined it.
NRE.
Yeah,
That was before he got with Neptunes.
but he was so energetic during that time frame. Like you got certain artists that is like Pac to me. Pac is not the greatest MC to me, but the energy
A
that
great
Pac had.
storyteller.
Yeah, you had to feel his energy on that. Nori
Yeah,
on that first album, he was coming off banned from TV. He was
yeah,
coming off the CNN joint. He had so much energy that you couldn't help but love that album. It was playing
yeah.
everywhere. But if you go back and sit and listen to his lyrics, you're like, Nori, what?
Yeah, nah,
What?
yeah. But no, but that's like when Cameron reinvented redid himself. It
Mm-hmm.
it can't be saying so well. You be like, what?
Computers Putin. Cam. Cam.
Yo, you be
Cam.
saying so you like what?
Yeah. So
Like,
but when you got it's the same thing with Jules Santana. During that whole vibe when Dipset was really like
yeah,
up here,
yeah,
you couldn't top that energy that they had, man.
cutting.
Matter of fact, that was the same time I was running around in Harlem, and I saw him.
Yo,
I kind of saw him.
rocking a 5XT with the
Yo,
do rag that
I didn't
match it.
realize how I'm not the tallest dude in the world. I'm like 5'10", 5'11". But I was on the
All
street
right,
in Harlem.
tech,
We was on the
you know what?
125th.
Tech Nine is. I got a Tech Nine later.
Yeah, I got when I was in Cali, man. Everybody loved Tech. Tech is like he a whole different. Cali music is completely different, man. So them
Yeah,
dudes they different. But
yeah,
technically wise, just if you think about the way he put together syllables and the way he's
yeah.
flowing, I understand why people love Tech. I get it. It's not my style, but I understand it. Once again, that's energy though. You got these
Mm-hmm.
rappers that got that energy that you can't touch.
Mm.
Oh, okay. See, that's my man right there. Because you talking daylight. That's my era. I'm most deaf. I'm a backpack MC. Most Def,
Yeah.
Black Thought, Tribe Called Quest, Daylight. That Native Tongue Crew. That's my shit. That
You
was
know
my
what
bag right there.
like the crazy thing is too, man, is just like art like when DMX came out, his
Mm,
first two albums
mm.
couldn't
Dude,
touch it.
to put those same two albums out in a year, they were only like months apart.
Yo,
First of all, I was graduating '98 when that joint came out. I was graduating high school when There's a Dark, well, not There's a Dark Side, but when It's Dark and It's Hell is Hot
hell is
came out.
hot. Yo,
That
the
that was one of
intro,
the most innovative.
the
Anything that
intro
whole album.
alone. Yo, you couldn't mess with X back then. And then the
You
Rough Riders came up. You like, yo, nah, they got it on lock. And I think Eve will destroy Fox. I mean, not Fox, Nicki Minaj.
did. Here's the thing, man. All right, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. This is me being honest again. Nicki ain't that dope. First of
Uh,
all, that's because you think about that verse that she did on Kanye's Monster track.
yeah,
It's flames. It ain't nothing you can say, but you can't take that away from her at all. But you can't tell me she wrote that. I still don't think she wrote that. And I know Safari was writing a lot of her stuff during
yeah,
that time frame. So you got to give that man his flowers for writing one of the craziest
yeah,
verses because he like everybody was on that track. She out rapping,
yeah,
but that's not hers. And you hear the stuff that she's doing now. Like when you listen to her rapping now, you can tell like, okay,
yeah.
this ain't
Like
this
her,
ain't where it's at.
like Wayne was like they was taking care of her.
They was they was coddling that joint.
You know? Yeah. You know what? Like for me, like my favorite group is the Locks. Those my dudes. Like Styles P is my favorite rapper.
But I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad because Styles is one of those dudes that the way one he can tell a story, but it ain't even
Yeah,
about that. Like the way he put his bars together, like that super what was it? Super gangster,
yeah.
gangster and a gentleman.
Gangster
He
and
got
Gentleman.
he got
Classic.
busy. That is an
Classic.
absolute classic. He and Freeway put out two albums around the same time. I think it was Free at Last and Gangsta
Yeah.
and the Gentleman. I was killing both of them joints at the time. That's back when I was listening to hip hop on a regular basis.
But then you gotta remember Beanie Siegel put out his first album at that time too.
Yeah,
and be
that was a good time of music right there, man.
that was
That
that
was
was
a
a
really good
crazy
time
time
for
of
hip
music.
hop. That man, that was crazy. My favorite joint from the Locks though was before they even blew up. They had a joint called Back to Back,
Mm,
and the way Jada got off on that joint.
yeah,
I'm trying to remember the bars. Like normally I can do that joint off the top of my head, but I can't do it right now. Just
yeah,
because I'm old and it's early in the morning. But I'm gonna send that joint to you. That is
yeah.
that's the joint that made me fall in love. This is back when this was probably like 96, 97, and everybody was doing mixtapes when you had K
Mm-hmm.
Slay, Drama, Tony Touch. You had the
Yo,
mixtape joint, and
you
that was on a
be good,
mixtape.
brother. Have
You
have
got
have fun over there
my
in
man.
Hawaii, man.
Mahalo, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy because like deep like when the mixtape era was one that could never ever ever be duplicated because you got new tracks, new freestyles every week. You was getting something new. Fabulous was popping.
So you had Fab, you had the Locks, you
Yep.
had Helter Skelter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm just doing. You had
Yeah.
CNN was still going heavy. Nas
Yeah.
was still
Mob
doing it. The
Mob Deep was
mixtape,
Mob Deep would
Mob
come up
Deep
in
was
there. Yeah.
crazy. You had Smith and Wesson was still up there. Like
Yeah.
you had like MCs that was
Yeah.
going back and forth with that joint. Like, and
Yeah.
I hate that they kidnapped the mixtape era. And
Yeah.
it had to die because mixtapes and CDs were gonna last forever. But 50 Cent completely changed the game when he did
Yo,
his
you know
own
what?
mixtapes.
I was gonna bring that up. Yo, all the 50 stuff, except for maybe a few tracks, you can play now. You listen to that shit and they like, yo, what was I listening to? This is garbage. It's garbage.
It's
Like,
crazy when you go back and you
yo,
really
when you
take a
go back,
listen.
cause you're
Yeah,
like, yo, like what, like what was he saying? That's garbage.
he he, he was so smart, like because he did the joint How to Rob,
Yeah,
and that
that was
joint, like
fire
honestly, yeah,
with the
because
mad
nobody
rapper.
was doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah, nobody was doing that then. And for him taking the mentality that he has, and it's the being the contrarian, and he roasting everybody. That was just a brilliant way to come out. Like he was
yeah,
out before then, but that was a brilliant way to like let everybody know I'm here. Like when he
exactly.
was talking about, he said, "I'm gonna rob Big Pun, and only thing I gotta do is run." How you gonna catch me, son? That shit is brilliant. Like,
All right, yo, Peter, you about you
come on,
about you
man.
about to start a fight right now. You about to start a fight.
Ooh, ooh, that.
I don't know about that, man.
I. All right. So here's my thing. Here's my thing. If you put it, if you put it album for album, if you put career in there, Reasonable Doubt is one of my favorite all time albums, right?
Mm, yeah,
Favorite all time. And then you got, and then you got Volume One, In My Lifetime.
yeah,
Jay Z was actually writing his lyrics at that point in time,
yeah.
and
But you know
you
what the
can't.
crazy thing is that
What's
is
that?
people know who Jay Z's ghostwriter is now. They ain't know back then because Jay was always saying, "Yo, he would come in the studio and he'll be there mumbling to himself, and then he'll get on there, you know, and spit, and he'd be like, yo, Jay don't got a writer. He just go up on, he just hit a beat and just go, you know,
That whole thing, lyrical exercise killed hip hop to me.
yeah,
Let me tell you why. Because if you think about Nas and from Illmatic to It Was Written, all the way up until I would say like Stillmatic,
mhm,
right? And then Jay Z came with lyrical exercise and started telling everybody like, "Yo, I don't have to write my lyrics down no more."
yeah,
And then Biggie was there. Everybody said Biggie like didn't have to write his lyrics. Biggie could just get in
mhm,
there, hit a beat, and he could do that off the top. So what happened was RZA caught wind of that. He did that Bobby Digital album. I can't stand that
oh,
album by the way.
garbage,
Because he was just
what is that? What is that?
I couldn't get into it at all. Then Nas just started saying like, "Yo, I don't write no more." And if you notice, those albums dropped off. His
Hmm.
albums weren't as good after that. He started doing I Am and
Yeah.
that whole era.
So here's one.
And then what's up?
The one thing that made me discredit Nas was when he did the track with Damian Marley, and Damian
Oh,
Marley
really?
carried that album.
Distant relatives.
This, yep,
Oh yeah, I'm so glad you said that because nobody else feels that way but me, and so
yo,
I'm
Damian
glad
Marley
somebody else
carried
feeling
that
that.
whole album.
He really did. But you could tell Nas wasn't in it. He wasn't feeling it. You could tell
Hmm.
Nas wasn't right. Nas didn't get back right until he divorced. He got a divorce from
Khalees.
Khalees, and he did Life Is Good. Life Is Good is a brilliant album. That shit is
Hmm.
so good. But you could tell he started getting to the point where he okay, I need to sit down and write and get my shit out
Exactly. Yeah. You know
because
that.
Lil Wayne started doing that joint too. Lil Wayne started, okay, this is what Jay-Z doing. Jay-Z, greatest
Yep.
rapper alive. And then he started trying to do that whole freestyle. You can see the video where he was like, yo, I'm gonna do this in one take. And he did it in like 4 or 5 takes. Because like, yo, you're not gonna be what Jay is. Like let Jay be
Exactly.
Jay. Not everybody has that brain that they can sit there and freestyle. Like not everybody's built for that. That's why I
Hmm.
love Andre 3000. He'll tell you, he's like, yo, I'm not a freestyler. I'm a writer.
Yep. Yep.
Sometimes you gotta write, man.
You know, like you know, back because it makes you wonder, like, yo, like back then, Dre had no problem going on tour. He had no problem doing Hey Y'all, doing, and then until he messed with Erica Badu, and then it all went downhill from there. We went all downhill from there.
Nah, because
Yeah, now he don't want to perform no more. He want to be in the
nah.
shadows.
That Dre's my favorite MC. So I gotta shoot my man some bail on that. I gotta shoot him some bail. Because I gotta shoot him some bail because the Badu period was actually when he switched up on ATLians. And if you think about it, that's when he started growing his locks. That's when he started
Yep.
dressing weird and the whole nine. But the stuff that he was doing on a criminal, you
Mm,
can't touch Dre, man. You
can't
can't touch Dre. Dre's
can't.
on another level. And then when
He what?
what he got anxiety really bad. And I understand his anxiety because I deal with it to a degree too. So I understand I understand why he had to back away from it.
You know
Now,
what? I know. I
when
know.
he
I honestly, I know. I think it is. He wants a normal life. He
yep,
can't have that no more.
yep, and he's
He
trying
wants
everything to
to.
get it back.
Yeah. He just wants to be just regular Andre, and everybody's always gonna remember you as Dre 3000.
And if you listen to anybody from Redman to Eminem to you can name a whole bunch of people, Dre's in their top 5. So
Yeah.
when you got rappers saying you their favorite MC, and then every
Yeah.
time he jump on a guest appearance, he black out.
But
You're never gonna be able to escape that level of everybody looking at you being like, "Yo, you are God. We want you to rap."
yeah.
And he couldn't live up to his own expectations of that, and
You know
and
what?
that's what killed him.
And like I love like Raekwon. Raekwon's my guy. You know,
Glaciers of ice.
you know, like like but I also feel like Ray's another rapper that's hot for 16. Like I think the whole Wu Tang, you
Nah.
give anybody in Wu a 16, you're in trouble.
Here's my thing, because I'm with you. I'm with you to a major degree on that because I'm not the biggest Wu fan.
Mm,
I know I came up in that era, and I know like how much people love across genres, how much people love Wu Tang. But Into the 36 Chambers is a good album to me, and I
yep.
know it's a classic, but it's not a classic for me. The
Mm.
second album that he did, the double album, what was it, World Tour or whatever that album was,
Oh no, yeah,
is not a classic.
that was Jim with Triumph. Oh, I know that on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's not my favorite album. I don't really love it like that. I love the Winter Wars verse that Capadonna did, and I
Yeah,
love a couple tracks, the track that Ghost and Ray got together. But for me, I like them individually. Like
yeah.
Ghost is my favorite out of all of the Wu. Ghost is like you
Mm,
can't tell me nothing about Ghost. Just off the strength of Iron Man, Supreme Clientele, Bulletproof
yeah,
Wallets, he got another 5 album run that most people can't touch. Raekwon got, what's the joint? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. The purple tape. I don't know why.
hmm,
Cuban links. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He got a couple that he's done on his own that are straight fire. Method Man, like we were saying, Meth got one good album.
yeah. His first album.
You know what I'm saying? And Jizza got maybe 1.5 good albums. Like Liquid Swords is brilliant. I can't stand the RZA. I
Yeah,
do not like the RZA. I don't like Master Killer.
Yo, a million soldiers trying to come in. I'm like, oh my god.
I
I'm like,
can't
yo,
get with him.
I'm
I
into the
can't get
flare.
with him.
I'm like, oh, come on, man.
I
Out of here with
can't.
that.
And he started doing that joint like, oh, I'm gonna do this all off the top. Like most of his rhymes are freestyles. Okay, so you can do an album where you freestyling the whole time, but it don't sound as good as anything that came off of Iron Man. It don't
Yeah.
sound anything as good as of Supreme Clientele. So those albums I put up here,
You
but as a
know my
collective,
problem. My problem
what's
with
up?
RZA is he feel like he's smarter than everybody else. That's my issue. My issue with RZA.
Now, okay,
Like,
you put this collective together and you produced a lot of their beats and all like you did some great
yeah,
stuff. I get it. But as an individual MC, and it's a lot of producers out there that I would put above RZA. He's not that great to me, but he does feel like he's the smartest person in the room. And
yeah,
to a degree, he is, but you ain't the best MC
exactly.
by no stretch.
He too smart for his own good.
Facts. So that's my thing
Yeah,
with him. That's why like I can't really get into him like real heavy. Like and I can't get into the woo. Like I'm not listening to a You God album. You can't pay me to listen to a You God album.
mm,
You can't pay me to listen to a Master Killer album.
yeah,
And I like Inspector Deck, but his album was garbage. Like you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I'm not the biggest Wu fan. I love Ghost. I love Ray. I like Meth. Like you said, you give him a 16, Meth can go off, but he can't
Mm-hmm.
make an album to save his life.
Can't. But you know what? The thing that saved them was really when him and Redman got together because they didn't have yeah,
You ever
because
seen
they
him
didn't have
live?
to go. They didn't have to go super hard.
Have you ever seen him live? Like on stage together?
No.
In 19 what was it, 1995, I went to A&T's homecoming.
Mm,
And that was at the height of How High.
yeah.
Man, when I tell you that's one of the best stage performances I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Method Man had on like, I know he had on like 6 or 7 t-shirts. And I'm not exaggerating. This is back in, when everybody was wearing stuff baggy.
Yeah.
Wu wear was real hot. Redman is literally standing on top of the speakers smoking a blunt
Mm-hmm.
and doing the high verse. Method Man is taking off t-shirts and just throwing them in the crowd. And them motherfuckers stage diving. It was the wildest shit that I ever seen. And that's what made them dudes great.
Yeah.
They're your favorite rappers' favorite rappers. And at the same time, that chemistry that they had when they was on stage is something like you don't get that. You didn't get that with the rest of the group. Whatever
At
he got
all.
with Redman is just straight magic. You think about it,
Yeah.
man, that's 95. And them boys still rocking together now, getting busy.
Making a killing. They had the movies. They had the TV show. That's because Redman said he signed his deal was awful.
Yeah, it was horrible. But that was the era, man. Like I got love for Eric Sermon, and I understand the
Yeah.
history of Def Jam and all that, but they jerked so many people, man.
Yeah. Yo.
So
Yeah.
many people got jerked.
Yo. You know what the crazy thing about it too, man, was fuck the rapper he just went through my he the moment you said
With Eric Sermon,
yeah, like damn, because it was somebody who was down with
was it
Meth
K
Red and
Solo?
them. Oh no, yeah, no, but K Solo was I wasn't really banging with K Solo like that. Well,
I feel you. Yeah, I
yeah,
feel you.
like
Better man, I feel you. I
yo,
feel you.
so did you bang with Sean Price?
Oh, what, dude? Back in that era, I told you I was a backpack rapper, man. That
Yeah,
was my shit. So Helter Skelter off top.
yep,
Nocturnal is once again one of my favorite all-time albums. But when Sean Price broke off and just
yo,
when he went from being Ruck to just Sean Price,
yo,
Monkey Bars,
yo, what?
that's another level of MCing that most people
Yo,
ain't touching, man.
at all?
That like
Yo,
I miss Sean Price. Please,
yo, a
I
lot.
miss it. Like I miss him, man. That's
Yo,
it's certain rappers like when rappers pass away, man. We done lost a lot of really good rappers.
yo,
But
like
Nipsey and Sean Price hurt me when they passed. That hurt.
yeah.
Like it really hurt.
You know what?
So
Like
yeah.
the crazy thing is like when like my favorite track from Sean Price is Solomon Grundy because that beat is just insane. Getting my hand shoot, man,
Yeah,
like
yeah. You can't touch P, man. P
at
P is
all.
on another level. And once again, that was that same era. You had Beanie, you had Styles, you had Freeway, and you had
Yeah,
Sean P. Like that was like the last gasp of like real MC right there before
you know what?
everybody came
And
in with the
and
mumble
and
raps.
but Banks had a nice little run too, though.
I like Banks when like I listen to his lyrics. I understand that he's nice, but I can't get with his voice, man. He's too low and too he's
You know
too
what? Like
monotone.
his
And
last
yeah,
two
yeah.
albums, they
Oh
sound
yeah,
like SoundCloud though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And 50 kind of getting his socks was like, yo, he great, but he's just lazy. And I really can't deny 50 on that one, man. I can't say that he wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's there, but you got to be able to like when you that nice, you got to be able to put an album together. You got to get the right engineer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's getting on an album is just not just getting behind the booth and just spitting. You really got to put some
yeah,
shit together. You got to be an artist.
facts,
And he just
facts.
he ain't built for that. And that's the only downside to it. Because he's talented, man. He really is talented.
How my boy Angel in the building, man.
Angel, what up, man?
Angel know a lot. He know a lot of good music too, man. You know,
I
Angel
just love that we can sit back and smoke
have a
cigars,
cigar.
man, and talk music like this, man. I need this.
Yeah, man. And just getting
It's
depth
therapy,
with it,
man.
man. Cause like Cool G rap, you
Whenever
know.
when everybody talk about that golden era of hip hop, and they talk about your favorite MCs of the time, if
Mm.
you're not mentioning Rakim, Kane, and G Rap,
Yeah,
I can't listen to what you're talking about, man. If you
yeah.
don't
Yo,
understand like what they did for just putting cadence together and rhyme schemes,
hmm
hey,
yo, like all those dudes was way, but was the good
literally
thing
they were
about
ahead of their time, yo.
yeah, the good thing about Kane is still going around rock the bells making, but you got to think about LL.
All right, I'm gonna get in trouble for this one too. I love L, I do. Radio, I'm bad era. LL is something most people never heard could understand. But right after he did like Mama said knock you out, I
hmm
don't know what the fuck LL talking about no more, man. LL can say anything.
Yeah.
Like some of his bars, you like what? Yeah,
hmm
but you gotta as a pioneer,
You got to
because
put him in there.
I'm bad era, my radio
But
era L is it wasn't nobody touching him at that time
at
until
all.
Rakim came. It was just like yo, like this, I'm gonna show y'all how to rap. But for
And
real,
that's
L was that dude.
hmm
Because you think
and
about
then
it, during that time, it was Curtis Blow, it was Run DMC, sucker MCs. There is no hype.
yeah,
Like okay, it was cool. It sounded good, but L came on some other shit. L
exactly.
came. I'm gonna
And
crush you
then
like a jelly bean shit.
and then on top, and you can't forget about AZ
We used to go back and forth like who was nicer between AZ and Nas
all the
because
time, all the
yeah,
time.
because that era was crazy. I got a dude, man, back in the day, my boy White Mike. To
Mm.
this day, Mike was the skinniest white boy, and he had like this super curly hair, so he had like this afro, man. And I love this dude, man, from the bottom of my heart. To this day, he could probably do that whole album for what is it? It's not Do or Die. What is that AZ album, man? What's the name of that joint?
What the
I
Sugar
can't
Hill
think of the
album?
name of the album. Nah, it's the first one that he did. I think Sugar Hill is on that joint.
Mm.
But Mike to this day, probably Mike might be 41 years old. He can still rap that whole album to you bar for bar. And that's no
What?
exaggeration. Like he loved AZ. And he still like whenever I pop up, you see like if on Facebook and I'm doing like that 20
Yeah,
days
yeah,
of
yeah,
albums that I
yeah, yeah.
love, like he will pop up out of the blue everywhere. He was like, yo, where AZ at? You know what I'm saying? Because he still love him like
No,
that,
you know
man.
what's
And that's
crazy? You know who's underrated, man?
who's
Like
that?
Butt.
Joe Budden?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That Moon
yo,
Music era.
Yeah,
Yeah. I give it to him. I give
you
it to
know,
him for
like
sure.
the problem was
And
he
what
had a
was that?
core fan base, but
Yeah,
he's anything good he get, he destroys it. He's one of those guys that
and
just
that
destroys
that's his
everything.
problem. And that's his problem. And the other thing that take Joe Budden out of it, he never really had like the best voice, and that's
Mm,
the thing that kind of took him out of it a little bit. All right, so I got this thing that certain MCs got fatal flaws,
yeah,
right? I know you love the locks.
yeah.
Jada Kiss, bar for bar, I'll put him up there with some of your best MCs. I'll put him in there with the Most Def, with a Black Thought. I'll put him in there with the Rakims. Lyrically, nobody's touching him. But Jada, and same thing with Fonte. Shout out to North Carolina. They got the same flow on everything. And that
Mm.
was always a fatal flaw for me. Like no matter what beat they was on, they pretty much had the exact
Oh
same flow.
yeah, yeah. Do or Die was his first album.
Do or die. Okay. So I thank you I did have it, but I
I
wasn't
told
sure if I had it right because I always mix it up with what's them dudes that do you wanna
Twister.
ride
Yeah,
in the
Twister's
backseat of
crew.
my caddy? They
Yeah,
did a joint called it was like do or die or some shit like
but
so I always get it
that was
confused
their
with my
name.
dyslexia.
That
Yeah.
was their
So
name.
I always confuse that. So that's my bad. Thank you for correcting me on that, Angel. But like all of those cats had a fatal flow, and AZ had that same problem.
Hmm.
AZ was on them dude like he couldn't change his flow. What made Andre 3000 so great for me was if you go back anything after the Southern Playalistic album, when he was like, okay, I'm not gonna rhyme like hieroglyphics and Far Side anymore. I'm Dre now.
Yeah,
He always was able to change his flow up. He never had the same flow on any song.
yeah.
Do you
You
know
know,
how difficult that is?
you know who I started going back to them. Saw some again was UGK.
Mm, hell yeah. Sorry. I ain't hell
Nah,
yeah. God damn. But yeah, because like UGK and um, 8 Ball and MJG.
yeah,
I don't think they get the respect that they deserve. Like,
they
because
don't.
during that time, everybody was in, you had to be from New
East
York.
Coast.
You know what I'm saying?
You had
Yeah,
to
you
be.
had to be an East Coast rapper. But now everybody going back and giving them their flowers because they really
Hmm.
ahead of their time. And I'm gonna surprise you with this one, but they got to give them love. It's Project Pat.
Yo, let me tell you something. Project Pat. Yo, still to this day, his flow is still nice.
That's what I'm saying. And
Still to this
everybody was
day, his flow.
biting and jacking his flow. Like all of these
Yeah.
cats that came in that era after him, they stole that shit from Project Pat. And he need to really get his flowers too, man, because he really was like, yo, when you go back and listen, like you can't help but you
Yo,
bop it because his
man,
flow
listen,
was that
I
nice.
still like to this day. Bald head, scallywag, ain't got no hair in back, jailed up. Oh
Look,
man.
look at that, no
Yeah,
beat, and
no
you
beat.
already like,
Yeah.
okay, and that flow was really same thing with Buster. That's what made Buster so nice was when that would jump on something else, Buster had a different flow.
Yeah.
And that's another level of MCing that most people forget about. You ain't gotta be the dopest MC if you can really put that together. You're gonna hear everything Project Pat was saying because you like, oh,
Hmm.
okay. You know what I'm saying? And it was simple, but it was effective.
Exactly.
And
Like to me, like,
and
he wasn't even a member of 360 Mafia. He's just Juicy's brother.
yep. But the fact is, none of them would probably flow like that if it wasn't for him. The same thing
Mm.
with Camp Low. What
Mm.
most people couldn't understand Camp Lowe's lyrics. I could because I would literally dissect their lyrics. But Geechee Suede and my man Sonny Chiba, they had a different flow than everybody else. And
Hmm.
that's what made Uptown Saturday Night such a brilliant album because nobody sounded like them. Nobody could rap like them. And then everybody started stealing their flows. Young Chris, Jay-Z stole his whole flow because he was
Yeah.
nice.
Now, yeah. Well, and the crazy thing about it too is you look at like Bone Thugs.
Hmm.
Like when we first started hearing Bone Thugs, we just like, yo, like who these dudes?
Yeah, I couldn't feel them. I appreciate them a lot more now. Now that I go
Real,
back and
yeah,
understand what they was doing.
yeah. Like honestly, I can't listen to a whole Bone Thugs album, but they
Mhm.
hits were hits, especially
Here's
like
the thing
Crazy
about that
Bone.
though. Yeah, Crazy was nice with it. But what made that no, this is what really put me onto it. When Life After Death came out,
Yeah.
and Biggie did Life After Death.
Oh,
Biggie on every single song on that album, he changed his style up, which that's the first thing that made me feel like Biggie's different. But he used the Locks flow, he used Bone Thugs flow, and he was killing it. When he did that Bone Thugs joint, All That
yo,
Dangerous,
yo,
like, come on, man, how many people could do that?
yo,
And
that
that
Bone
made
and
me
Biggie
appreciate
track.
their flow.
You put that on now, it get the same reaction. You know.
Listen, listen, but that's what made me realize that Biggie was different because, and that's what made me realize that Bone Thugs was nice too because when he put that flow on a voice of a rapper that I could appreciate at that
Yeah.
time, it made me
Mm-hmm.
understand what they was doing and how nice what they was doing was. And I was like, okay, now I understand it. Because when I first heard that, I'm gonna miss everybody, I was like, what the fuck is this, man? But I
Mm-hmm.
was real, I was a backpack MC. I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't open my mind enough to appreciate it. Again, on the same thing, same token, a lot of these West Coast rappers, Far Side,
Yeah.
Hieroglyphics, Keep the Sneak, that thug like now I really appreciate Bay Area rap. Like my wife had to put me on. My wife from the Bay Area. I didn't understand it at the time. Now I'm thinking Drake still in their flow.
Yeah.
Outkast is using that
Yeah.
flow, and I'm like, oh,
But you know what the crazy thing? So like, I could never get into E40.
I couldn't either. I
I'm
love him
sorry,
now.
Hugo. I'm sorry, Hugo. I can't do it.
I love him now though,
Mm,
because when he first came out, to me, I was so hardcore in the East Coast hip hop. The first time that I ever saw 40 was Sprinkle Me. And I'm looking at
mm,
this like, yo, what the heck is that? I was like, who is this fake Biggie? Like, who is this
yeah.
cornball? Now, and you think about all the slang that everybody uses. I'm using West Coast slang because of
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
Right now, I was like, yo, that beat slapping. Yo, this oxtail I got right here smacking.
Yep.
That all came from 40. I
Yep.
gotta give that man his flowers.
Him and Too Short.
Short dog. I love him now. I couldn't get with him before. But I understand now when I hear that Bay Area, that doom, 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 doom,
The
doom.
beats is always fire because you look at Nip. You know.
You don't understand, man, how much I love Nipsey, man. Like Nips, it took me 2 years before I could actually go back and listen to Victory Lap
Mm,
because when I like my father-in-law took me to my first NBA game ever. The Warriors were playing, and it was the last week at Oracle Arena, and it was like
mm.
I think it was their last home game, and me and my father-in-law was sitting in the upper deck watching the game, and I checked my phone, and it was like rapper Nipsey Hussle was presumed dead, and
It's
I hadn't
crazy.
listened to Victory. I hadn't listened to Victory Lap yet, man, and
Yeah.
I had just caught wind of the Slauson Boys mixtape, and
Mm-hmm.
I had just started getting really into who Nipsey was. Nipsey is like, as far as like just putting together like talking knowledge on joints, like how to get your money together
Yeah.
and how to build your team. Nipsey was untouchable, man. He was really gonna be something different. And it took me 2 years before I could actually listen to that album, man. I didn't get into it until 2020. That was the first time that I listened to that album as a whole, man.
Yeah.
Because I was hurt, bro. That one really made me because Nipsey was different. He was
He
different, man.
was that one right there. It took me out. You know, it's a few rappers where you like, damn, really? Like like I like that kid out of Philly. What's his name? YG well P Rock.
P&B Rock, P&B, yeah,
PNB
P&B,
Rock.
P&B,
Yes.
P&B, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yo, he has some
That got
hits.
me. What's gonna surprise you? In the same token, a lot of people don't mess with him. Once again, they don't separate the man from the music. Triple X, XXX Tentacion.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't rock with that kid.
Yeah.
When I was talking about how Biggie could use anybody flow. That kid can make any style of music that you wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And they took that kid out. He was really about to come into his own, man. If you listen to that Question
Exactly.
Mark album, he was really about to show like he did a track with Joey Badass.
Yo, Joey Badass is nice. Joey Badass is
Same,
nice.
Same thing with Big L.
Underrated.
And, they when it, what really kills me about Big L, PNB Rock, Pop Smoke, XXX Tentacion, it was they took them cats out right when like everybody got that album when they
Mm-hmm.
figured out who they are, and you like, okay, this is like, okay, this person is gonna take off, and then they
Exactly.
took all of them cats out right when they figured out who they were as MCs,
Mm-hmm.
and we would never know how nice they were ever gonna be because they took them
You
out
know
right
what
when
the
they
thing
was
is?
that.
It's crazy because you think about all these guys that died, like Big L, like
Yeah,
like Big L, and you don't know if they would have had longevity. That's what I get mad about. Uh oh yeah, Angel want to know how you feel about Action Bronson.
all right, okay. I like Action Bronson. So from a culinary dude, for one, I got love for his palate, and I got love for his artistry. But again, I was saying how much I love Ghostface, and I could never get into him because he took everything
Because
he does.
they sound too similar.
I could never appreciate who he was, and I know over time that he kind of developed his own style a little bit. But I could never like I couldn't separate in my brain that when he came out he was a Ghostface knockoff, and that's and I know that's my fault, and that's on me. But if so, say for instance, if you ASAP
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky, he got a joint called I think it's called the One Train, and it's
Mm.
ASAP, uh, Yellow Wolf, Action Bronson. What's my man from the South that's real nice, man? God, I can't think of his name right now, man. He kind of sounds like Ti a little bit. I can't think of his name. Somebody can correct me on that joint. But
Mm.
anyway, it was like a posse cut, and every single one of them dudes blacked out on that joint. And surprisingly, Yellow Wolf had the best verse that was up there. Action Bronson got busy, so I know he can rhyme. I know he's nice, but I just
Mm-hmm.
could never separate the Ghostface thing, and because Ghostface is like one of my all times. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't
Yeah.
I couldn't give him
Well,
the flowers.
he got a lot of pushback for that, but you know, Kurt. Oh, yeah, not Kurt is nice. Big Kurt. Big
Yeah.
Kurt is nice.
And he's one of them dudes where I never felt like he could ever get out of his own way, and I don't know what it was that like MCs appreciate him and they know he nice like that, but it's just he can never make whatever that is that help you get over that hump to make you a superstar. And he never really got there, but he's nice with it, man. And so that's just one of sometimes that happen, man. Sometimes you got these dudes that just under the radar and they never could really get over the hump. And he one of them, he just couldn't get over that hump.
Mm.
So I mean, and on Action Bronson, I respect him. And it's like I don't know, and I think during that time frame, I was just kind of getting out of hip hop. It's very rare right
Mm.
now that I actually listen to hip hop. It's rare. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because like that era that we was talking about, that Styles P, Jada, Sean Price, you know, Freeway. Once that era died, and a lot of these mumble rappers came in, I just couldn't get with it the same.
So who is Mayhem Lauren? Mayhem Lauren.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't
Well,
know. So
you know what? Like
I'm
I
gonna
don't
have
know.
to
I
dig
feel
into
like yo yo Felipe, man. I got a question for you. Your logo it kind of like a blunt a little bit, man.
that.
Like your logo, it kind of like a blunt.
That's a good thing because when you do shorts, it's gonna take
Hmm.
off. Everybody that's on like my shorts and DJ shorts, man, they all weed smoking, so he gonna
Yeah.
blow up from that. Yeah.
Joel
Joel
Ortiz was
Ortiz,
super nice. Super
Man,
nice.
my cousin put me on the Joel Ortiz, man. This was
Joel
right
Ortiz
before
super nice.
Slaughterhouse too. It was right
Yo,
before that Slaughterhouse era too. And,
yo,
okay, what were we gonna say? Sorry about that.
no, I was gonna say like you just bring it up to, like Slaughterhouse. Go ahead.
So what I was gonna say is like certain rappers, I like the everyman rapper, right? I like Sean Price, I like Joel Ortiz, I like Joe Button from that era, Mac
Yeah,
Miller, um, even Drake when he first came out with So Far Gone, Fonte from Little Brother. I like rappers that ain't got to be about like, yo, this is how much money I'm flexing and the whole nine. They can talk about
yeah.
everyday stuff and still be nice. And
You know what?
Joel, him and Fonte were like the kings of that everyday man rap.
Mm-hmm. You know what? But Slaughter, like Slaughter was like, especially like with Crooked Eye, and all it, man, and they all
Royce,
and they all and like the crazy thing about it too was like Royce was always underrated, and then he came out with that bad meets evil, and you see him going
anything that
bar,
he did after that,
yo, and he was going bar for bar with M. Like, oh no, this guy's an issue.
let's talk about M for a minute, man. All right, how you feel about M? I want to hear what your opinion is on M.
M is nice, man. Is he one of the greats to me? No, but M is super nice,
He's super nice. My thing
but
with
not one
M,
of the greats. No, it
M
is, but
had a
I
period.
think I
What's
think
up?
it's that Detroit rap though. Like, I can't really do the Detroit rap though
I
because
like
like
Guilty Simpson. I like Slum Village, the OG Slum
oh,
Village.
Slum
I
Village,
like
yo,
Dilla.
love Slum
Yeah.
Village.
So, but as a whole, like I couldn't get into a lot of them. Royce, I like Royce,
Yeah,
but when I think about it with M, this is the thing. This is the thing that got me with M. M's problem is his voice.
yeah,
So
mm,
check it. If you get into Infinite Era, Eminem, right? Before he put out Slim Shady, M was crazy nice. And then he kind of got into the Slim Shady
mm,
persona. He did the high pitched voice
yeah,
joint on that,
yeah.
right? So M was
Your
still
Freddie
he was
Godson was
still nice,
nice.
but I wasn't really feeling his albums like that. But once again, when it came to the flow, when he started doing what was the joint that he did with Dre? Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing
Yeah,
comes out when they move their lips. It's a bunch of that shit. Like his voice, listen, their voice was still there.
yeah,
He was he was doing the mixtape joint, the Sway and Tech joints when he was
yeah.
ripping. Like M was on another level during that period. Then M started taking all them drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And when he started taking all those drugs, he started rapping like Pee Wee Herman,
Yeah, I like that.
right? But literally, he started making all those sounds. He was really he was rapping like I don't know what the drugs was doing to him. When he came back, he had a period where he was using his normal voice just to rap, and then he kind of felt like he was just his lyrics didn't make much sense anymore. He couldn't figure out how to get his pattern back anymore.
Mm-hmm.
M lost his voice. He started screaming on tracks.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid. And like he lost his voice. M could
yeah.
never get his voice back. So that's what makes like I can't listen to Eminem albums. I can't
Mm,
listen to none of his albums because if you go to any of it from Kamikaze to the Alfred Hitchcock joint that he did, he don't have the same voice on any of those. He can never get
mm.
his voice back.
Wow.
And that killed him as an MC. And I talk about this all the time, but a lot of people like I don't know if it's because I used to do impersonations. I don't know if I try to get into like literally the voice of Sean P, Ti.
Yo,
Like you can get in all these rappers, they have a great voice.
yeah.
Buster, M don't have a voice no more, man. He don't sound good, and it take away
Like,
from his lyrics.
but but the one thing is like Peter made a good
Scarface,
and yeah, you ever heard Fred the Godson?
hmm another one they took out before
Yeah,
he really could get into this. Yeah, I rock with Fred, man. Yeah.
Fred was nice. But you know what? I think the problem too is I think Eminem when they uh when they retire it's because they know they're done. They know that it's not gonna hit like it used to no more. Like Jay-Z took he took all the pressure off himself when he retired.
hmm Yep. So now you can just come in, freestyle a
Do
joint on
do whatever you want,
drop
yeah.
a quick 16. Yeah, and you're not really gonna stress it. And,
Hmm.
and that's a lot of things. It's the same thing with like athletes and
Hmm.
MCs.
Yeah.
They don't
They
know
stay
what they
around
don't
way
know
too
when they
long.
done. They don't know when they done. As much as I love Rakim, he didn't know when he was done. Uh, LL, he didn't know when he was done. You know
Well,
what I'm
the
saying?
thing is
It's a
too
lot
is
of
that like the problem too is that they always want to come out with new shit. Yo, Smokey Robinson got a new album out
yeah, man.
called Gasms. Yeah. Nasty old man.
Yo, the thing about
Freaky
that,
old
like
man, man.
that song that he did, Gang Banging.
Yeah. Yo.
Yo, you got one of the greatest writers of all time, and that's not hyperbole. He's
Mm-hmm.
one of the greatest songwriters of
Of all
all
time.
time, and he made one of the worst songs I ever heard in my life just
Of
because he didn't know he was done. Something like
yo,
yo,
Smokey been done for the last since
30.
since 1980. He's been done, and he comes
40.
out with an album like every 4 years. Talking about some damn
That
gasm,
Gasm, that Gasm album is crazy. That,
gasm.
there's no way in 1970 or 1980 you could have ever told me that Smokey Robinson is gonna put out one of the worst albums ever made.
Yeah, you know
You,
what?
you,
It's
you could
yo,
have.
Andrew. He got a point here, cause music do evolve.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it
you know
does.
what? But here's the thing: is that you still got dudes who they make music for their crowd. They know who their crowd is, and they're gonna stick to that. You know, like you don't need the young dudes no more.
No, no, no,
You
no, no.
know?
Sometimes you gotta let it go. You remember like online they used to do this thing like when they was like old heads wearing young clothes. And
Yeah.
you're like, you know what I'm saying? You know
Yep.
what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta accept what your era is. Like I gotta
Mm-hmm.
accept the fact that like I can't dress like these young bulls. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40. I got a wife and kids. I can still get fresh. I can still put on my J's or whatever. I don't have to dress like like it's 2000 when I got like a Mitchell and Ness on and a bandana, not the bandana, but like a headband and wristbands and with a piece of tape
Yeah,
around my
with the
eye.
with the
I
band
can't.
with the Nelly band-aid. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
another
I
one who
can't.
he's another one music who didn't age well.
You just got sometimes you gotta let it go. Like, and I think that's what like Dre was talking about when he was just like, "Yo, what y'all want me to rap about now?" Like
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of seeing the fact that he's not gonna be the same dude that he was from a criminal.
Exactly.
He's not. He knows that he's not that guy no more. And I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate him being able to say, "All right, it's time for me to gracefully bow. Let
Mhm.
let let
But
let let Tyler the Creator do it right now. Tyler is
but
gonna take my place.
yeah.
Let him do it."
You know what's crazy about it too is that you got guys like Snoop. Snoop would not go fuck away at all.
I love Snoop,
But
but
it's
really,
it's time.
what was the last dope Snoop album?
Can't remember.
He
Can't
can't
remember.
make Doggy Style again. And
Yeah.
he did an album that was like RBG or something like that, and it was decent, but that was like okay, it's time for you to like it's time to
Yo,
let it go.
you know who I fucked with? The East
Who's that?
Siders.
I can appreciate him. I couldn't really get into him like that, but I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you.
The East Siders was nice.
They could rap. You know what I'm saying? It just
Yeah,
wasn't my bag, but I can
but
appreciate
and it, and they were pretty much just Snoop's goons, pretty
it.
much.
Pretty much, pretty much.
You know.
But you know what hurt my heart, man? When I found out that Snoop wasn't a writer, that I don't know. I think I need to let that go. That like
Mm.
because I got into it with Just Blaze the other day
Mm.
because somebody was talking about like let me kind of give this a little bit of a preface. Back in the day,
Mhm.
I used to be on this site called OK Player. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
familiar with OK Player.
Nah.
So that was like OK Player was Questlove's website. It was his.
Okay.
That's when he put on the Roots, um, D'Angelo, Erica Badu, most that. That's back when like the backpack era was like real heavy, right?
Wow.
Like that backpack MC. So I used to be on a message board. That's how Fonte and Little Brother got started on that message board.
Yeah.
Like if you watch that joint, they talk about it for a period of it. Like I used to talk to them dudes online because it was a real dope online
Hmm.
community. So saying that to say Just Blaze was up there too.
Wow.
So now I'm still cool with a lot of those people on Facebook. We got like a little sub group up
Yeah.
there. So I'm still cool with a lot of them. And Just Blaze is in this group. So somebody was making a post the other day talking about when Most Def called when he said that Drake is not hip hop, that he's pop
Yeah.
music. And
He
to a
is though.
degree, I agree with most, right? We know that Drake doesn't write his own music. We know this. We know this, and people like give him a pass, but we heard the reference tracks from Quentin. You know what I'm saying? We heard that he stole from Dram. Shout out to VA. We know
Yeah.
this, and most of Drake's albums is like he might rap on one or two songs. The rest of it is pretty much pop songs, right? So I'm going back and forth, and I was like, I can't get with Drake because his pen is suspect to me. I know he's not
Hmm.
a writer. And Just Blaze came on and was like, yo, a lot of your favorite rappers that you love get help, and a lot of them have somebody else ghostwriting their stuff. I know Mad Skills ghostwrites for a lot of people. We know about Puff. We know about most of these people. We know Dr. Dre ain't never wrote a bar in his life. Ice Cube was writing for a lot of people. The DOC needs to get his flowers because he wrote for so many people. And it's the same thing. When I found out the DOC was writing for Snoop, it hurt me. It
Mm.
it really did. And I'm bringing that up because it's like I gotta shoot a lot of these rappers some bill. I Because to this day I don't think LL wrote a lot of his lyrics. Kanye was my favorite for a long
Yeah.
time. I know Ron Fest, Sci High, and a couple other
Yo,
people.
Saha. The problem with Saha is he didn't need like you. Like some people are better off in the background and just keep writing,
Mm-hmm.
make your money.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to come out and do your own thing, and it's like, dude, you will make it gold.
Something about Sci to me. It's like I know he can rap, but like he put out a decent album, but I can't get
Yeah,
into however he delivers his lyrics. I can't get into it. But when he write for Kanye, you see what happens.
real
You know what I'm
talk.
saying? Like he need to be in the background. Certain people is just like they don't have whatever that star power is to be in the front.
And that's the thing also too. It's like all right, well, your whole clout is you wrote for this person. That's your clout.
Some
You
people
know
ain't built for it. Some people ain't built to be the front man. Not everybody gonna
exactly.
be Buster. Not everybody gonna be
Yo,
Method Man. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
It's like not everybody got that. They can't be Sean Price. Sean Price is one of the few dudes that you could just give him a microphone and a booth and he gonna go crazy.
It-
Fly High, as nice as he is, he ain't got that.
at all, at all. Yo, but Kaylin, I gotta end it here. We're like 2.5 hours in.
My man, my man. Thank you for rocking with me for this long, man. And sorry
Always.
if I get long winded, man. But thank you.
Nah, man, you good, man. Yo, this was amazing. I love this shit.
Anytime,
I
man. I know
love
it's
this.
late on y'all end.
Yo,
Appreciate
I want to
we'll
thank
do it
everybody for
again.
watching. If you don't go to if you're not subscribed, subscribe to my boy Vintage Cigars. Like amazing reviewer, and also
Thank you,
look out for the new channel.
yeah, 80s
Look
remote
out
is
for the new
coming.
channel, man.
It's
And you
coming.
guys already know the vibes already. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Big Guilty Cigars. Peace.
Bad man. Peace.